Well, this is kind of weird. So I'm sitting here watching Monday Night Raw by myself. So I figured, why not? I don't know, hang out with myself. I guess I don't know. So I'm just hanging out, chilling, watching Raw. Um, I like Cody's Pocket Square. I'm not sure really what he's talking about. I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess I should probably start. He said something about "Don't mess with my dog." So apparently, The Rock did something with his dog. I'm not really sure. Hmm. Oh, he's talking about Rock's 21-minute video. I don't know. I watched like 3 minutes of it and got bored. Now he's talking about Cody crybabies. I guess that's. Hmm. I know they have more time on Monday Night Raw, but I really hope this isn't like SmackDown where the opening segment was 40 minutes long, because that was kind of a little bit much. But, depending on how many people come out, because here he's calling out Seth freaking Rollins. So I guess it depends on how many people come out. We'll see how long this takes. That opening segment on SmackDown just drug on forever and ever. As you can see, I have no fancy graphics whatsoever. This is just me hanging out by myself watching Raw. Nothing fancy. I got that little thing running across the bottom. Good times. This Seth Rollins outfit is bright and loud, yet probably the most normal thing he's worn in a long time. Oh, apparently there are two people watching. So, hey, look at that. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in to watch the beautiful disaster that's going to be me watching Raw by myself. Who knows? It could be a lot of fun. As you can see at the bottom, guys, follow the BFC. All of our stuff's down there. We got lots of good content. You'll like it, I'm sure. Oh, and two people left. Fantastic. I'm by myself again. Lovely. It's quite all right. Well, at least we know what show we're on now, Monday Night Rollins. I don't know what's louder, him screaming into the microphone or that outfit. Mr. Nightmare. I'm sure that'll end up being a shirt. Um, Sorry about that interruption. That was my wife. Apparently, World War III is going on in the house next door. She thought I may have fell and hurt myself. Kind of hard to do when you're watching Monday Night Raw by yourself. I gotta say, I'm very disappointed by this. Very disappointed by this tag team situation. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's going to be good for anything. So we're gonna get a little fancy here. Threw a little something together. Kind of some last minute stuff, so we don't look totally out of the ordinary. Let's see how it works. Oh. Ah, there we go. All right. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad for throwing it together in a few minutes. I just hate that they painted themselves in this corner where they were stuck with, Cody and Drew and Seth, and everybody had stuff to finish, stories to finish with Roman, and it gets old. Like I'm tired of hearing about all these people that have like histories with him and stories to finish with him, and now, they don't know what to do. They paint themselves in this corner. They got to have this stupid tag match. I'm not down with any of it. I'm with Seth Rollins. As much as I want to see him at Mania, I'm with Seth Rollins. I'm not happy with it. I think it's time for The Rock to hit the road. I don't, if you're starting storylines for next year, that's fine. But it's not adding anything to this year. I feel like it's detracting. We're getting closer. We had one person just watching. Apparently, we went from 0 to 2 to 0 to 1, back to 0, all by myself. Yeah. Now here we go. Because he called him a walking clown emoji. Now it's just getting silly. We got to go to things like diarrhea Dwayne, and we should not be dealing with insults like walking clown emoji and diarrhea Dwayne as we're on the road to WrestleMania and we're building to main event matches, and this is just silly. This is getting like way out of control. Lemmings. Absolute lemmings. You get the crowd to do anything. I do get that 21-minute video was ridiculous. I agree. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes is a long time. Mm. Oh boy. Seth Rollins on SmackDown. Way to sell SmackDown. Way to do it. Here we go. I mean, seriously, who cares? Who really cares? Of course he does. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, of course he's accepting the challenge because they don't have any better plans. Point to that sign. It's a beautiful sign. I believe it's 40 feet long this year because it's WrestleMania 40. Well, the thing that everybody knew that was going to happen just happened, and it only took 24, 25 minutes this time. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. WrestleMania's shaping up. Oh, Dirty Dom's getting his title shot next. Dirty Dom's getting a title shot against Gunther, the Ring General. Yeah, that's my Ludwig Kaiser impression. It's terrible, but I'm here by myself, so what does it matter? All the terrible impressions I want. All right, guys, we're at a commercial break right now. So while they're on commercial break, I want you to check out this awesome video that lets you know exactly who we're going to have at episode 50.
"7 years ago, one man had a vision. It began as an idea and it would change his life forever. As the vision grew, others hopped on board, and a podcast was born, a network was started. Episode 50 will be like no other. This is where it all begins again. And for this special episode, we need a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, your main event of the evening!
All right, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 50 coming out April 14th. That's 1 week after WrestleMania. You can see our amazing conversation with former WWE United States champion, former WWE Money in the Bank winner, former two-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion. That's right. Sean and I sit down with Mr. Anderson for an amazing conversation. It was a good time. We get to talk about his wrestling career, some backstage stories. We get to talk about his wrestling school, the Academy, which we're very excited to, continue to see grow. And so you'll get to see that April 14th, 1 week after WrestleMania. And we'll be having some big stuff going on WrestleMania week as well. So check out all our socials for that. We're still, we have not announced our plans for WrestleMania Sunday yet. So keep an eye out for when those plans get announced as well. But we're still on commercial break here. We're getting a big anticipation moment here as one of the challengers from last week, one of the folks who decided that they were in line for a title shot from Gunther. That would be Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day, and he gets his title shot next. So we're excited for that. It should be should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what they do with Gunther for WrestleMania, how this is all going to shake out. I think at this point, unless there's some miracle, I don't think that Dirty Dom is going to be involved in a WrestleMania match with Gunther, but who knows? I could be wrong. Could be, could be anything happening. So we'll see what happens. They're showing me many things from Sonic here. I'm not the hugest Sonic fan, but love me some chicken. Yeah. So a lot of interesting stuff going on as we continue to build the road to WrestleMania. We saw Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins come out, and in 25 minutes instead of 40 like SmackDown, they accepted the challenge for WrestleMania for the tag match. So we will be seeing Cody and Seth facing Rock and Roman Reigns on night one. Cody and Seth win. Cody gets his match with Roman without the Bloodline. Bloodline will be banned from ringside. Roman and Rock win. The match is now anything goes between Cody and Roman. So it'll be interesting to see what direction they take that in. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what happens between Roman and Rock during this tag match. Is the Bloodline really solidified? Are they really the unit that they think they are? So who knows? But we're back with Dirty Dom Mysterio making his way out, and we're just awaiting the champion Gunther for this match. Of course, Dom's got JD McDonough in his corner. Can't come out alone, of course. I'm a little surprised. I guess Mommy's got other things. She's busy tonight, so Dirty Dom's got cousin JD with him. It's time for the Ring General. I was really upset when they changed Gunther's music from what he was using in NXT, but this theme song has really grown on me now. It definitely seems to fit him very well. I don't know. It has a different vibe to it, but I like it. And hello to our one viewer. Thanks for joining me tonight. Normally this stream would be going on over on the ABJ podcast, but things being what they were tonight, I decided that since everyone else was taking the night off, I'd hop in here, and that's fine. Everybody needs a night off every now and then. I get it. I'm the same way. Everybody needs a night off. It can get tough constantly live streaming. But I thank you for joining me tonight. Gunther's looking good. Pat McAfee's all in on Gunther. He may not be all in on the Bloodline, but he's all in on Gunther apparently. Yep. Oh, he's killing it. Dom sucks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we start this Intercontinental title match, it is going to be a little OC reunion here tonight. We're bringing in my tag team partner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Parma Cheezel from the OC. What's going on, buddy?
I love the opposite of what ABA does over here. You give me compliments while ABA gives me the trash.
Yeah. Well, listen. I get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed up the introduction. Wait. Let me start over again.
No.
It is.
Don't do it.
It is the man, the myth, the legend, Parma Chi from the OC.
Oh yeah, right. You like that?
I screwed it up. Yes.
I like the little rhyme there. I do a little
Ladies
rhyme.
Ladies and gentlemen, I see we've got some comments going on. Obviously, when Sean showed up, listen, it's a big boo for Sean.
Yeah, big. I know. I get the boos.
We appreciate ABJ chiming in with that.
Thanks, Tony.
And of course, we
love you too,
appreciate all your support. We're really getting things rolling here. Hey, someone thinks we're cute. Look at that.
Thanks, Kai.
Very exciting. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
that.
Kai. We appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at an all-time high of 2 viewers.
Listen,
we hit it early on, and
2 is better than none. 2 is better than none.
2 is better than 2 is better than none.
Even if it tops out here, success.
Yep.
It's like all around.
This is a huge success.
Ooh, chop into the turnbuckle. That's not pretty. I don't like that spot. Freaks me out.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm just a little behind you, but yeah, I saw that chop. That was ugly. I don't think I ever liked that move.
And
Not on those,
I
not on
don't
those
like
turnbuckles.
the chop is fine, but doing it on the solid steel turnbuckles, it's not so much good.
So we already said hello to our good friend ABJ. We said hello to Kai,
Yep.
and now Lily is joining us as well. It's getting to be a party up in this
It says,
piece.
"Watch out,
That's
watch
right.
out, Tony."
Uh oh. Watch out. What is
Watch out.
I think Dominic Mysterio is officially dead. Let's just declare him dead.
There's no competition here. It's all love. I'm just messing around at this point.
All right. So back to another commercial. Before you hopped in, Sean, during our last commercial, I showed our video for
Oh,
I showed the video for
you
our
did the video.
episode
Nice.
50.
I
Yep.
missed it. I missed it.
Yeah. That's all right. We got time. I'll show it again.
We show it every ad break.
That's right. Here we go.
Show it every ad break. Let's go.
7 years ago, one man had a vision. It began as an idea and it would change his life forever. As the vision grew, others hopped on board, and a podcast was born, a network was started. Episode 50 will be like no other. This is where it all begins again. And for this special episode, we need a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, your main event of the evening!
All right. We
So
are back.
good.
That's right.
So good.
April 14th, 1 week after WrestleMania.
Can't wait. Can't
We've
wait.
got Mr. Anderson. I'm
A lot of fun.
back with I'm back with my tag team partner who if ABJ's talking about your shirt,
Yeah,
you're
my
looking
shirt.
you're looking a little Skinner like.
it's my dog tee.
So, oh wow.
It's-
so
it's-
that is
it's-
that an
it's-
actual dog or is that like a
it's-
fake dog?
It's my miniature schnauzer. I can't even say it
Lord.
right. Schnauzer
Yeah.
dog tee.
So
One of my closest friends.
yeah.
Also side note, no Kai. That's not me. I don't have that
No.
luscious of a voice.
I
That's
was
actually
just about to talk about that.
that's actually Gavin Loudspeaker, aka Loud
Former-
Obnoxious,
yes.
aka Jack the ring announcer from
Yes.
the
From Chikara
days.
fame.
Yes,
Yes. Close personal friend of the podcast did that voiceover for us, which
It's very cool.
we really appreciate that. Yeah, big
If
shout
it was
out to
me, I
Jack,
would
the ring
be
announcer.
impressed with myself. So
Yeah, he did a great job. But yeah, so back to this shirt. This seems to be the
But no, so when I used to live with my roommates, Alex had one of these, a different dog,
Yeah.
and he got me one as a joke.
Oh,
so
wow. I got you.
because he knows
No.
I liked miniature schnauzers, and I wanted one eventually as
Yeah.
a pet.
Mhm.
But
And our
it's
our
not
first
to be.
Monday Night Raw live stream was the perfect time to wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
This wasn't planned. You weren't.
No.
This whole chilling wasn't a thing. So I was like, listen, if he's gonna
No,
do it,
look, it just
if he's gonna do it,
it all happened. It was last minute. I was like, listen, I got, a little less than 4 hours to kill
yeah,
until 2K24 comes out, and
you
I
bought the
already
game,
had
right?
this planned. I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
I
I
got
wasn't pre-order, but I'm just gonna buy it outright whenever.
I got 40 years of I got the 40 years of Mania edition.
That's what I'm gonna
So
do.
I'm
Yep,
excited. I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing I don't like about it is they didn't do a physical copy this year. You have to do it digital.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
There's
they
no
did,
disc this year.
no for the
Oh,
well
wow.
for the standard edition and the deluxe edition they did discs. 40 years of WrestleMania edition
Is only on the
digital.
game.
Yep. So you have to buy it
Oh,
from
shit.
you have to buy it from the PlayStation store or the Xbox.
Right.
Whatever system you're on.
Right.
But yeah, it's completely digital this year, which I thought was a little weird. Yeah. Oh, Yeah, we'll see. I'm not a digital person. I don't normally buy digital copies of
Right.
games. I'm usually
I like
like-
having the physical
Yeah.
disc, but
yeah. Yeah, so then if the game sucks like 2K20, I can sell it back for 30 cents.
well, I bought the SmackDown edition for that, so I'm not selling it. Even if the
Mhm.
game's bad, what
Yeah.
was in it is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't sell that either.
Like I have the WWE 2K14 Undertaker edition when that came out, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then it comes in the sealed coffin, and you get like a signed Undertaker photo and like
Yeah.
a disc one of like a best of
Oh, yeah, they
DVD.
do cool stuff with that. I'll tell you what, Gunther is making, and not that I have anything against Dom Mysterio, but Gunther is making Dom look much better than he has any right to be.
I
And
mean,
the
Dom
shirt
is
is
pretty
just
good.
obliterated now.
Dom
yeah,
is
Dom's
a good
not,
wrestler.
Dom's good, but like, okay, Dom is good if he's like wrestling in NXT. This is Gunther we're talking about. This is a whole nother level.
Well,
like
of course, but
I don't have a problem with Gunther, but I mean, I don't have a problem with Dom. I think he's a great wrestler, but this is competition on a whole nother level. We're not
Right.
even like, you know.
I think that they're trying to make a point that, you know, Dom's gonna lose his match, but Dom was gonna look good losing this match,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
unless he wins by shenanigans, which would be a shock.
No, I
me.
don't see that. I don't see that happening. I think they've got. Oh, wow. That was really cool. This is like, this is giving me like Chad Gable vibes, not like
Chad
Dominic
Gable
is
vibes.
anywhere as good as Chad Gable, but like the false finishes and like you really
Right.
almost to a point.
Makes you
like,
kind of think that he might
for a
sort
second
of
you think-
maybe win. Right.
I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make Dominic the. I mean,
Oh.
he's the biggest heel in WWE, but you want to make him the biggest heel of all time. Have him beat Gunther.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Think about it.
Oh God.
Wow.
Just end him.
Yeah, Dominic's dead.
Yeah, it's it. Call it off. Call it off.
Oh,
It's over.
oh, that did not even take a second for him to tap out.
No, dude. He went all the way back.
Yeah, yeah.
But to his credit, his chest is kind of chopped up.
I was gonna say, yeah,
To
Gunther's
his
chest
credit,
is looking.
it is a little chopped up.
Now, listen, I'm not a fan of JD McDonough. I would like to see Gunther just go over and dismantle him as well. I'm just not a fan. I don't know, something about him just, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, here we go. You know, oddly enough, and I watched SmackDown, and I gotta say, I did not see I don't know why. I did not see Dakota
You didn't
Kai
see it
turn on
coming?
Bayley.
I mean,
no, I
I
didn't.
knew it was gonna happen. I just didn't know how soon. But then as soon as it happened, it made sense.
I don't know. I just didn't see it coming.
I mean, I do feel like it's kind of taking away Bailey's moment for Mania in a small sense, because now the focus isn't on Bailey and Io, it's on Bailey and Kai.
I think that what this is doing is just continuously stacking the deck against Bailey, and this is
Right.
just another thing that stacks the deck against her, so that she looks like because I mean, she's not an underdog in any stretch of the
Oh, no.
imagination, but this makes her look like an underdog going in. Oh, Shinsuke.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yep. Shinsuke out of nowhere.
Just yeah, right.
If we were doing the stream over on the ABJ podcast, I would hope that Dakota Kai would get worst fashion of the night for those shorts.
Yeah, worst
They were-
fashion of the night.
They were
Lily.
they were hideous
Lily, where
in
you
ways I
at?
can't describe.
Lily, are you still here? You gotta confirm
they
or
were
deny the
terrible.
fashion.
Oh, they were gross.
We need Lily for fashion.
I apologize ahead of time if you like those shorts.
You
Lily.
guys should totally come in here just for fashion. Just for fashion. You guys have access to the StreamYard?
So here we have Chance and Carter going up against Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler, and I have not from day one understood Chance and Carter. I don't get their gimmick at all. Like, no, she's not wet. No, I'm sorry.
Literally,
No,
she's wearing
I
a
don't
skirt.
think I don't think she's wearing a skirt. And if she does, that's even worse. I really don't. I thought they were hideous shorts.
Hideous shorts.
And please don't tell me you like them. I'm sorry if you do.
I'm sorry if you do.
Well, I'm apologizing for being mean ahead of
Oh,
time. in
nothing
case you
now for
actually
being
did
mean.
like
I'm
them.
sorry. I'm sorry in
you know.
advance.
Yes, yes. I appreciate your opinion, but I'm sorry.
Even Kai says in all caps, Dakota Kai never has bad fashion.
Well, listen, there's a first time for everything, and ladies and gentlemen, we've seen it tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, just like that. Dun dun dun. Just like he said. Dun dun dun.
Oh no.
Indeed. Yes. Boy.
I guess Lily's not on your side.
No, apparently not.
I
Well,
literally-
that's fine. Listen, look, whatever. I get it. Some people like that kind of stuff. I think it looked terrible, but whatever. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Oh man.
Indeed.
So, what were your overall thoughts of last night?
I mean I thought it was a great show again. And I think I may have mentioned this last night just briefly, but I feel like you know, I feel like it was a very stacked card, and I
Yeah.
feel like it was almost there was it's Sting's final match. I get that, and it's everything that everything it was supposed to be. It was like this big send off for Sting, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like they stacked the card to the point where nobody was ever gonna like that main event was never gonna live up to any of the other matches on the card,
Right.
because I thought the card was really, really solid. Pretty much
There was only
the whole
one
way
match
through.
that I
The scramble thing.
yeah, that's the only match
Yeah.
where I would say you can skip it, because there was times where
Yeah.
they almost looked lost, like they didn't know what the next spot was. Like there were a lot of times where they were just like, or it was like in out. Like they all
Yeah.
weren't in the ring. It was like they were taking turns doing the spots in the ring
Yeah.
by themselves.
Yeah. But overall, I thought the card was really good. I guess I thought the world title match could have been a little better. I think that they're kind of. I don't want to say AEW stuck, because I don't think they're in the same situation that WWE is, but I feel like
No.
AEW is at a point where they've got Swerve Strickland, and he should obviously be holding the title, but they've
Oh,
already
yeah.
put it on Samoa Joe, and they don't want to make him look like an idiot, having a short
I-
run and just
I
being
feel
a
like they're
transitional
gonna-
champion.
I feel like they want to save it for maybe not the next pay-per-view, maybe, because the next one's in April and it's Dynasty, so they could save it for the first new
Yeah.
pay-per-view in the list of events that they already have.
Sure. I just think it's hard, because I think that
Swerve's just so over right now.
yeah, I think
So
it's hard
good.
because they don't want to, they don't want to take the belt off of Joe so quickly, and
Right.
they don't want to I don't think they want to make him look like a transitional champion or whatever. But I could see a series of back and forth between Joe and Swerve, and honestly, I would not feel like that devalues the belt at all
All right, can I
if they went back
just
and
say
forth.
something? I don't know how far behind you are from me, but how can you say Andrade's Raw debut? Wouldn't you say Raw return?
I would think so. Yes, I'm in
'Cause
that.
is-
I'm right
this
where you're
isn't-
at.
He's not new. We know
No.
who he is. He was there before.
All right. So before this match starts, quick check in on fashion. Yes, Shinsuke did
Yes.
look like a mobster. I
Mhm.
think that's exactly what they're going
Exactly.
for with him. That sort of
Right.
veiled Yakuza looking thing. And I will say that I agree with you.
yeah.
Before you guys hopped in, I had mentioned that Seth. I didn't know what was louder, him on the mic or his clothes.
Right.
But I will say, even with that even with that, highlighter paint looking outfit, that's the normalest thing he's worn in months.
Seriously,
Like that's the first time he's
Seriously.
looked normal
Yes.
in months.
The
So yes,
dude's
I
outfit's
agree.
wild. Yeah, I just don't get the whole Raw debut because
No, that seems a little.
we're not that
suspect to
dumb,
me.
WWE. We're not that stupid. We do
Yeah.
have memories of older times before this year.
Yeah.
You gave Andrade your belt for a hot minute, multiple belts for hot minutes, and I was gonna say, oh, any of that time before, forget it. This is the brand new debut
Yeah.
of Andrade.
Once again, a big thank you to our 4 viewers that just jumped down to 3. So thanks for joining us again. This is Monday Night Raw, chilling with the OC. You're normally used to hanging with ABJ, but ABJ is taking a well-deserved night
Sabbatical.
off. A well-deserved night off.
Even though you're
Oh,
more than welcome to just
thank
surprise
you.
us and pop in, even though you don't have to. It's not
Well,
an obligation.
Yeah, we're
not
we're open
not an
here.
obligation.
We're all good. And we have confirmed they are shorts, and she still
There we
loves
go.
them.
They are shorts. In fact,
So
facts.
all right then.
You
Look, so
You-
I don't know.
got
I'm-
fact checked.
Yes.
So is Kai now the new leader of Damage Control, or is Io Sky still technically the leader
I
of Damage Control?
I
Or
don't
is there
know.
no leader at all?
Honestly, I think Dakota Kai is the leader. Like she's the de facto leader,
Right.
and I'm not making judgments or saying anything derogatory when I say this.
Uh-oh.
She's the only one that speaks
Oh,
100% like clear English. Like they don't normally
Right.
have people lead groups that sometimes are like the broken English on. It is what it is. So I
But
think she's.
I was totally cool if they just leaned more into how they were doing with Shinsuke and just have all 3 of them just do vignettes in Japanese and just be like that. I'd be so into that. I'd be so into that.
The weeks and weeks and weeks where we got the anime videos
I
with
loved
Shinsuke
that.
like narrating over them in
loved it.
Japanese. Those were amazing.
It was so
like,
good.
The graphics they used for that last fight between Shinsuke and Cody,
Yeah.
just amazing.
I love, yeah.
Yes.
If they had done something similar with like a Damage Control where it's just Asuka, Kairi, and Io,
Hmm.
so I would have signed me up. That would have been awesome.
Yes.
But I'm cool with Kai. I was down with just the 3.
Yeah. And yes, I 100% agree with this sentiment. I
Yeah,
think that's the
right.
that's the only reason
Facts.
it happened.
Absolute facts, Kai.
she's had one match in how long? She was
Right.
going through this whole injury thing, and then they pull her in for one match so she can turn on Bailey, and I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that had Julia been coming
Yep.
over, that spot would have absolutely been reserved for her.
Taking
I
over.
do,
Taking
I do
over.
like the idea of all these top Japanese women working
Right.
together in a faction. I think it's brilliant.
Mhm.
I think you could probably give them a you could probably give them a mouthpiece, a manager type mouthpiece, that wasn't necessarily a wrestler, be it a manager or whatever, but somebody that's not gonna get in the ring, that just is strictly a mouthpiece for them.
Right. I don't know. I think I'm kind of just over Damage Control. I'm just cool with Io, Asuka, and Kairi doing that kind of like their own thing, branching off from there and kind of doing their own little
Yeah, it'll be
faction.
interesting to see what happens after Mania, because honestly, I mean, I don't think there's a single title that's not going to change hands at Mania. The
I feel
women's
like-
tag title probably
I
has
feel
the
like
best chance.
This Mania, it's gonna be a lot of belts changing hands. I feel like this
Yeah.
year, a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like this, when Triple H said that this Mania is gonna change everything, I think this Mania could, even though we said last year, I feel like this Mania could be their soft reboot. I feel like Mania 40,
Could be.
they're building
Could be.
as like, okay, we're gonna change
Well-
a bunch of titles, we're gonna kind of
Yeah.
shake things up and
Well, and I think
Restart.
I think restart's a great word for it, because I think this is the point where they're finally going to be rid of, like, they're finally at a point where they can do sort of a reboot from anything that was left from Vince.
Right.
TKO is going to start getting involved more. I think after Mania, we're going to start seeing things like the advertisements on the mat. I think we're
Right.
going to see a lot of different things coming from TKO and Triple H. So I think, after Mania's over, I think all bets are off. Plus, you've got the television landscape in the course of 4 months at the end of the year. The television
Right.
landscape is completely changing.
Yeah.
SmackDown's going back
Yep.
to USA. Raw is going to
Going
Netflix in October.
Yeah. This shit's gonna be nuts. Everything.
NXT is
everything,
going to the CW.
Yeah, it's gonna be
everything
nuts.
is changing. So it's going to be completely different. I'm excited to see what happens with Netflix and Raw.
But here's my question: wouldn't you think it would be easier if they all just went to Netflix, not scattered themselves through networks? Like, I would have thought they would have said, "Hey, let's make a deal with Netflix where we have all of our live shows on Netflix, not just Raw."
It would be easy. It would be probably easier for WWE from a promotional standpoint. But think about, think about how much money that Netflix would have to put out to get the entire.
Not even that. I'm thinking that way Netflix can be the exclusive home for the network. Like, move away from Peacock, move everything over to Netflix. That way you have,
Yes.
the archives plus the pay-per-views plus the shows. If they still wanted to have SmackDown on, USA, it's fine. But then at least you have all the backlog in
Yeah.
one spot.
That was an incredible spot, and I completely agree about Shayna and Zoe's gear. It's about time that they become more of a
They have very
cohesive
matching
unit
gear.
in look and presentation, because I really like them. I think I
same.
think they fit together very well. I don't think after the Trish Stratus stuff they really knew what to do with Zoe Stark, because I don't think they knew what to do with her when they brought her up.
Right.
But I feel like, she's like, I want to say she's got the angry bulldog mentality. Like,
Right.
she fits in so well with Shayna Baszler because they're just like loose cannons.
Right. Wow. So Kai just said, speaking of Julia, news story just dropped per Tokyo Sports. A group of guys were harassing her, so she threw her bicycle at them. Fucking based icon. It's Julia for throwing a bicycle at somebody.
That's insane.
You're gonna harass me? Here, eat bike to the face.
Oh, Shayna Baszler getting on the mic.
Well, she said 4 words.
I'm not there yet.
I know. I'm just like, she says all 4 words. Maybe 5 words.
No, she got a full 10 in.
Full 10.
She said,
Full
"Well,
10
it's
words.
about time. We'll see
full-
you next week."
Full 10 words.
So here we go again. So I don't know what they're doing. We should not be worried about title matches on Raw and SmackDown. We should be building towards WrestleMania.
Right.
We should be building, we should be building the opponents for all the champions. We shouldn't be worried about, having these matches on Raw and SmackDown. I think it takes away from the fact that we're building towards WrestleMania.
Right.
I said this, I think I said this a couple weeks ago when we were talking, that this is the one year where I don't actually feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania. Like, there's so
Right.
much going on that's just, convoluted storylines, and we don't know what to do with these people. And we've backed ourselves into a corner with all of these different things. And everything is just up in the air. I mean, here we are. we are what 33 days away from WrestleMania. Is that what he said at the top of the show?
Something like
Um,
that. Something like that.
33 days away from WrestleMania, and we just found out who the first Hall of Fame inductee was today. Like I
Which-
feel like they're playing catch up. Did you
Which-
see that?
Which, by the way, very awesome news.
Oh yeah.
Very much deserved. If you didn't hear the news, I'm sure they're gonna break it at some point. But Paul Heyman is going into the Hall of Fame this year. I mean,
Yeah,
they're gonna be
and-
in Philly. I mean, first of all, that I was surprised if they didn't do that because they're in Philly.
Yeah. But I do think that I think it's a long time overdue. I know that he has always said no whenever they wanted to do it, and even in the interview he gave in his response about it, where he was talking about like he doesn't really see it because he feels like he still has so much left to accomplish in this business.
I mean,
and
he still
you know,
can, but he's just gonna
Well,
be
he
a Hall of Famer
can.
doing it.
Yeah,
And-
he can. It's just, the Hall of Fame has always had sort of this finality to it. Like people were never really inducted into the Hall of Fame for the longest time until they were done being, active competitors or actively on the
Or
road
dead.
or actively on TV or dead.
Well,
You know,
let's just be honest here.
yeah. Which again, I still think they're going to announce Miss Elizabeth this year because
You think so?
yes, because her family has been, from what I understand, her family has been against her inclusion in anything WWE for a long time after all the circumstances with her death and just not being like interested in the wrestling world anymore. And this is the first year she's back in the video game because
Right.
she's a manager in the video game this year because she features in 40 years of WrestleMania. She features in the WrestleMania 3 match with Macho and
Right.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Mhm.
Which by the way, George the Animal Steel is in the game, and he has a winning. He has like a victory scene where he goes over and tears the turnbuckle into pieces.
Love it. That's sick.
Yeah, it's so cool. But yeah, Miss Elizabeth is in this year, so I think this could be the year we finally see it.
Did you hear that? Brock's in the game, but only in showcase mode.
The Rock.
Brock.
Who? Oh, Brock. Yes, I did hear that. Yeah, he will not
Supposedly
be
he's still in the game, but he's only in showcase mode because I guess they didn't,
because there's
they
'cause
didn't
there's
have
honestly,
well that because he's been in a lot of matches and a lot of main events, but
Mhm.
I think because it was all of that came out so close to the end of the game, they
yeah.
did what they
There's-
could to delete what they could, but they didn't have enough time to do it
There's-
through the whole game. You know,
I'm sorry. There's no way they could have taken that match out of 40 years of Mania mode. I understand everything that's going on with Brock, and I think he should be nowhere near the game, but that's really hard. And I think I don't know 100% for sure, but I've heard people say that Vince is still in the game in the 40 years of WrestleMania mode because
Yeah,
of the
which-
Rock
which-
and Austin at WrestleMania
which
17.
it's hard because again,
That
like
was
you
the whole
said,
end of the match.
Yeah,
How do you
you don't
present that
wanna-
match without him?
You don't want to endorse the person for what they've done, but at the same time, how can you omit the owner and creator of the company from 40 years of Mania in the game? Like that's a really hard choice.
So this is really interesting, this comment here. Thoughts on Cause getting 5 finisher slots. Now I like the idea at first, but coming up with 5 for each character is going to be a pain. So
Easy.
one of the reasons that they did this, and I'll give you an example, is Randy Orton and the RKO. So they have multiple RKOs in the game.
Yeah, they have like 5
Where
of
you
them.
can hit RKOs from different spots, like in the ring corner, off the
nowhere.
top rope, all these different things. So you can fill up the 5 slots with all those different RKOs. So you have the option to hit the RKO from anywhere. Same thing with like, power bombs and different moves that you can hit from
Yep.
multiple places. So that was something I actually heard the developers talk about. And
Right.
yeah, so I think that's
I honestly love that.
I'm excited
'cause-
for it. I think it's
because
going to be
I can never pick what finisher I want, so now I have the option of 5.
Mhm.
Yes,
yeah, I agree.
give me the
I'm
option
down
of
with
5.
that.
Sign me up for that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why this match is happening again.
Because I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Nia Jax.
I don't know what
Like-
the end game is here.
We're okay. So everything again is building towards Mania.
No,
Why
of
are we
course.
wasting our time on this? Because like, why is Nia Jax in such a big feud with
Becky.
with Becky Lynch? Because Becky Lynch, she should be doing nothing but focusing on Rhea Ripley.
Right.
That should be the only thing she's focused on from now until Mania, and yet they're putting her in this like little mini feud with Nia Jax. And I get they have to do something, but it really seems like they're spending a lot of time and effort on this, and I don't know where they're going with Nia Jax for Mania. I don't know what the plans are, unless something's going to happen that Nia Jax. Well, I think the most possible thing is that she somehow worms her way into the match and it becomes a triple threat. But we'll see.
That's fair. I know. Just the last time these two fought, it felt like Becky was just rushing everything, and Nia was trying to slow it down, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna go," and I'm like, "Dude, breathe. Give yourself a second to rest." It also just ring psychology. I'm no wrestler, but I do know that if you take rests after a big move, it shows the impact of that move. Rather than just rushing into the next spot.
You got to give people time to sell.
Yeah, you gotta give it time to breathe. So when you're rushing to do the next spots and not giving it time to breathe, it makes it,
So here's a question, and this is a question for all five of us.
All five of us.
All five of us. Do you think that the Monday Night Raw after Mania returns to the usual Mania or Raw after Mania style this year? Do we go back to getting big surprises, getting call-ups? The Raw after Mania. I mean, they put a DVD set out all about the Raw after Mania because of all the surprises and the people showing up. And
I want to say the last 2, maybe 3 Raw after Manias were just not Raw. They were just normal Raws.
No,
like there was nothing special, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, I'm sad now. So like,
yes.
I hope now that we've officially gone into this new era, let's bring back the excitement of, hey, who can possibly be, return, debut, like.
Yeah, because that's the perfect time for call-ups from NXT. That's the perfect time to bring in, people that, Mania is 2 big nights, but you don't want to have somebody's debut or surprise debut be overshadowed by Mania itself. So
right. So
there's
do it on Raw.
Yeah.
Work they used to. I would even go as far as to say I would even be cool with if that's when Damian cashes in.
Yeah, I mean that's a real possibility.
When he decides I'm going to cash in the Raw after Mania.
Well, there's so much going on at Mania this year, I think, as far as like the title situations go. So it you could muddy the waters with a cash in. I mean, who knows? I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what happens to Judgment Day at Mania. And again,
right.
I think all these titles are going to be changing hands. A lot of the thought was that, Drew was not re-signing, so that, there was a possibility that they may do the cash in if he doesn't re-sign, but now it looks like he's re-signed. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen. And here's the other thing too. And this is honestly, this is what I would like to see. I would like to see, because I think there's a number of people that have, real claims to challenging Gunther at Mania. So I think we're definitely going to see Gunther in a match with more than one opponent.
Well, I think originally it was before everything happened. I think they were going to book him versus Brock at Mania had everything not happened the way they did. I think that was set in stone that was going to be the big marquee match for Brock and for Gunther.
Yeah, but at this point, I think we're going to see multiple opponents for him. I want to see.
I'm thinking 8-man ladder match.
I want to see Gunther. I want to see Gunther win at Mania, and then go to Monday Night Raw the night after, and I want to see Damian cash in on him.
On him on the IC belt.
Yep.
I don't know about that. I feel like especially for Damien. I feel like he deserves a world title and
Yeah,
cash
but
in on a
here's
world
yeah,
title.
but here's the thing. If you look at Monday Night Raw, the Intercontinental title is more important than the world title right now.
because
The world title is an absolute joke on Monday Night Raw.
I mean,
And
I
you
guess
think
you could
about
say
think about this
right
though.
now,
So,
maybe because they're focusing too much on The Rock, but before that, no, because they were having Rollins just always defend it and always win it. So I don't know.
yeah, but it was still a secondary title to Roman Reigns.
I mean, it's
It
always
was nev-
gonna be.
Yeah, but that's not how it should be. If it's treated correctly, that's not how it should be. So think about this. What is gonna mean more if Damian cashes in and beats Drew McIntyre, or Damian cashes in and beats Gunther and ends his record setting Intercontinental title run? What is gonna mean more? And I think it's Gunther.
I feel like
Not that Damian doesn't deserve a world title run, but I feel like if that was the case, then have him cash in on Cody after Cody wins. Because
Have
I
him
don't
just go
think
balls to the
the
wall.
world title on Raw means that much.
I think honestly, you want a way to piss the fans off? You want a way to absolutely piss the fans off? Have Cody beat Reigns at Mania, and then have Damian cash in on Cody that same night and win. And that's how they end Mania.
And
with the
I
fans
understand.
just livid.
I get that, but there's no way they end on a downer note this year after last year. I think if you end on a downer note like that this year, I think you are going to see a flock of people turn away from WWE like you've never seen before. It'll be worse. It'll be worse than when people were upset about Cody last year. It would be a disaster.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, because they would do that. That's something that I can 100% see them doing. Just to be like, hey, you thought that the story was finished? Psych, it's never over.
If Vince was still in charge, I would say yes. I could see that 100%. But the way things are going now, I don't see it.
Right.
All right. So another wonderful batch of commercials. I love the commercials during Raw, because it's not bad enough that we have to sit here through a 3-hour show. I can't wait to see. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see what happens with the Netflix deal. If we're gonna have to watch commercials, if we're not, like,
well, I think it's gonna be based on. Well, no, I thought I read somewhere that if you have Netflix, there's not gonna be so much ads. But like, I feel like there's gonna be like something, like maybe like a WWE shop ad in between, or like just something like
maybe
for them,
'cause-
not so much like for us. Like for
yeah,
hey,
because
buy
there's
some
no
merch.
way,
Yeah, you know, like
there's no way they're gonna fill an actual 3 hours, like a legit 3 hours. We'll see.
no,
But I don't think there's any way they're gonna.
I think they should go back to. I think if they're gonna do Netflix, they should go back to 2 hours. Ralph, why don't you do this introduction? See how
right.
I can do versus the other people.
So I've been stuck here with this dude for like 45 minutes now, and I have been literally praying to any god that will listen that somebody will come and save me. Not only somebody that knows what they're talking about, but somebody that just, doesn't besmirch the screen as though the screen is being besmirched right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage. It's Lily.
It's Lily.
Hey,
It's Lily.
it's Lily.
Who would have thought? There he is.
I wouldn't do that to
Look
you
who
guys.
joined us.
Wow.
It's, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Chillin' with the OC. It is Abja.
It's Abja.
Listen, anybody can spell
Abja,
Yes.
right?
Anybody can spell it. So what's
Anybody
going
can
on,
spell
man?
it. What's going on,
Not
man?
much. Just fucking
How was-
annoyed.
how
I'm
was your
annoyed,
Robin
but
going?
I had to
Yeah.
calm down. I had to vent. I had to woosah, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm good to be on camera now, and not say anything stupid.
Right.
Good. Well, I'm glad
Maybe.
you. I'm glad
Maybe.
you-
if anybody knows ABJ, that's not entirely true.
Oh,
well, listen. I'm glad you joined me, because I've been carrying this show.
Oh, come
If-
on.
if-
You ever,
That-
do a,
that's
you
bad.
ever do a 10-minute intro with no microphone and no one tells you and you got 8 people in the stream? That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but I sat here for
There, you
20
were only
minutes
live
talking to
for, like, 2 of
myself.
those.
It was too
Listen,
many.
the fact that you were able to talk to yourself for that long,
I talked to
I'm-
myself
I'm
for a good
impressed.
25.
I'm
I
impressed.
did.
It's not
yeah, I
easy.
did the entire opening segment of Raw by myself. 25 minutes with that nonsense.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least it wasn't 40 minutes like SmackDown,
right.
because
Of-
that was
of-
just
Of The
ridiculous.
Rock and black cutting because of a sign that said "Die Rocky Die." Oh
Yes,
God,
that was very. Annoying.
I couldn't eat.
Oh.
Uh oh.
Damn,
Are you freaking serious?
it's Becky. Yes, we're serious.
Wow.
That should have killed her, but of course it's not because it's Becky.
Yeah, of course. That should have meant a 3 count, but then we could have just
That was like a
added
Will
that 3
Ospreay
count
kick out.
Yeah,
to
right.
all the list of things that don't make sense.
So normally Monday Night Raw doesn't matter unless it's a Becky Lynch storyline, I guess, because she got squashed last time. Well, not squashed.
Mhm.
She got the shit kicked out of her last time,
Yeah,
and now she's gonna redeem herself on Monday Night Raw. So you're essentially diminishing Nia to just a Monday Night Raw. Like no other person
yeah,
takes big losses on
Kid,
television, and then you bring Nia Jax back, who's this absolute monster beast of your company,
right.
and she's gonna take her big loss feud on a weekly television show.
Nia
Yeah.
Jax should be mauling everybody, and I have
So-
no
dude, she
I
should
have
be.
no idea what they're
yeah,
doing with her for
yeah.
WrestleMania. None whatsoever. Like,
The problem
none
is,
of
is now that you have all these big strong girls in the company. Oh, she just kicked Nia right in the face.
Oh yeah, she did.
well, considering the kick she did earlier in the match where she didn't even touch her and Nia had to freaking jump out of the.
that was
I don't
terrible.
hope
Oh,
this
that's
for a
worst.
negative, but I hope she would have broke Nia's nose there, and then everyone would like, "Who's unsafe now?
Right.
Yeah.
Who's
Right.
unsafe?
Right.
Are we
right,
protesting
yeah,
Becky?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
because Becky's not an oversized person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
exactly
Exactly.
what it comes down to, and it has
Mhm.
nothing to do with anything else.
Right.
She kicked her right in the. I guarantee you, it was either in the forehead or the eye.
Yeah, that was bad.
Do you feel similar with Ralph in the notion that this doesn't feel like the road to WrestleMania?
No,
No.
if I was Nia, I would give her a hard fucking receipt. Hard.
Well, she might.
I feel like
Time
she's
yet.
working on it. Just give her a minute.
I think she's legit pissed.
Oh yeah, I think she's
Oh, I
mad.
would imagine.
Here's the difference between Nia's run now and Nia's run then. Nia's got friends in high places now.
Right. Right.
Yeah, how about it?
Absolutely.
I mean,
It's no joke.
the guy that's on the board at TKO bought her a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some legit juice.
That's some legit Jews. Yeah.
Legit juice.
I was so close.
Slam her through.
I
Slam her
was so close to nuking the Discord today.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
It got that
Wow.
bad, huh?
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
So pissed. Here's my
Sorry.
bit. And I'll
Gotcha.
say this.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that someone who doesn't have anything to represent
Are you?
can just walk into like something that somebody creates and just drop a grenade and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, 90%
that.
of people can walk in, drop a grenade, ruin everything that's been created and built, and it's the only thing I have left, and then just go about their days and go about their life. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
I don't know. It just frustrates me.
Right.
I understand. I just don't understand any of this.
Completely missed the post and threw her on her head.
It's bad, bro. It's bad.
Well, you know, mistakes happen.
No,
Yeah.
Nia attacking fans. I love it. Look at throw his hat. Throw his hat on the other side of the arena.
Keep it.
There, yeah. Pull
Yeah.
Tony Deppen and chuck his hat.
Just chucked it.
You get it from this side of the crowd and throw it on the other side. So they got to fucking fish for their hat.
That's crazy. This is what we need. Though we need an angry, pissed off, unstoppable Nia Jax,
Yeah.
not this one that loses against Becky Lynch
Agreed.
because it's Becky Lynch.
First off, Ricochet with his rock impression right now.
I know.
There's
with the
no other
turtleneck-
reason.
with the
There's no other
turtleneck.
reason in the world you wear a turtleneck with your chain on the
Yo,
outside.
I'm writing down Ricochet because I'm thinking he's looking fancy. Then you got to go ruin it with some shit like
Look
that.
at 90s rock.
I don't want to now.
He literally wore the same
I
thing, and he has
want
a
to
chain
now.
on the turtleneck.
He looks like he's trying to get a loan at the First Ghetto Bank.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh, he's down with Adam Pearce. He's got him.
Oh man.
Wow, they stinged him. They just cut his fucking promo off.
They literally just cut him off.
Wow.
Mid sentence. That's crazy.
Who would have thought we'd be talking about JD McDonough and Sting having something in common?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Cut off mid sentence.
Did anybody watch the rest of Sting's
No,
I haven't
promo?
yet.
Promo. It's
I haven't yet.
online. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it yet.
I haven't
Don't
yet. I plan to, but I just thought it was funny that the last few words we heard on the pay-per-view was,
I'm getting
all right,
cues.
I'm getting
Hold
cues.
on."
Hold on. And that's the
Did you
last
watch
thing
the
you
press
hear.
conference of Tony Khan bawling his eyes out the whole time?
No.
No,
It was great.
I watched part of it and I stopped. I watched
Essentially,
Joe's part.
he's trying. He made it a point to say 14 times that all of this booking had nothing to do with Sting, and Sting is so unselfish and doesn't want anything. And this was all the booking and everything Sting did at AEW was completely on him, and that's what he wanted. Which tells me as a fan, you knew you were done booking then. If you have to justify it that hard,
Yeah.
then you know it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Listen, do I get the fact that Sting has always played second, third, and sometimes fourth fiddle to every major superstar he's ever worked with his entire career?
Yeah.
100%.
right.
And do I think but here's the deal. You can go through every fucking roster in every era, and there's always been a Sting.
Right.
It's okay
Sure.
being that. Like, not
Yeah.
everyone can be the top. But to
No.
sit there and say, like, well, we had to come up and give this guy a bigger rub because nobody else did. I seen what everybody else seen, I guess, and all the fans clamored and seen Sting as what he like more. You know what I mean? I always looked at it as like,
Yeah.
okay, Sting is the number one guy when Flair's not around, and when Flair's around, Sting then has to take a back seat. And then Hogan came, and then Sting fell to third. You know what I mean? Like, they always tried to make Sting this big icon or this big push and everything like that. But even when like the NWO was doing their rivalry, I honestly think if Sting didn't paint his face, nobody would have cared.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
I think face paint made Sting popular.
Mm-hmm.
How many times you hear wrestling fans, you're like, I just like him because he's got cool face paint. You're like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy for
Yeah.
me to think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I respect him for his career. I appreciate his career, but the same fans who get mad when Goldberg walks in the door and wins the world championship and squashes the entire young roster, that's the vibe I got watching Sting walk in at his age and go 28-0 and retire as a tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
What's up, Courtney, in the chat?
What
Yeah,
up,
they
Courtney?
What's up, Courtney?
yeah, they
Says, "Hey, guys, how are
definitely
you?"
you know, they always talk about like, you know, companies hanging their hats on these older guys, but nobody talks about that when it comes to Sting. Nobody says,
Right.
"Oh, well, AEW's, you know, just hanging their hat on him because he's, you know, an older guy and they're trying to use him because nobody else wants him," or, you know, it's just
Everyone hates Tony Khan for booking like a mark, and then he gives all of the Mark fans their big Mark moment for their icon, and he's
Right.
still a Mark piece of shit. It's like, so Tony Khan can't win either.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm defend.
Yeah.
I can see everything of why everyone loves Sting, and I'm not here to sway you or say you're wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying it didn't resonate the same way with me.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm over the fact telling wrestling fans that what they like is silly, because it's silly for me to tell someone that they shouldn't like something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, that's just
yeah.
it's a waste of both of our times.
Right. Right.
But how do we feel about John Cena being better than Shawn Michaels?
I don't
That's a
mind
joke.
people saying. I don't mind someone saying John Cena is better than Shawn Michaels. Because John Cena historically has been booked better than Shawn Michaels.
Right.
But I think when it comes to an impact of the industry, I think Shawn has made way more of an impact than John Cena.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I think everything that we watch in today's modern day wrestling has been built off the back of what Shawn Michaels created. The idea of
Right.
sports entertainment is 100% Shawn Michaels,
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
and that's a tit to an argument I got on TikTok. with Lily
I
had to
was
listen to.
just gonna say. I was
Mhm.
just gonna bring it up that the only thing that we know Michaels is not.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard he's a jobber, this Michaels dude.
yeah.
That's what I hear.
Crazy. Crazy.
Arguing
See-
wrestling. I'm arguing with wrestling fans on TikTok who don't even know the actual definition of wrestling terms.
Oh, here we go.
I was told that the only reason that Marty Jannetty went through the barbershop window is because Sean slipped. He was supposed to go through.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Yeah,
he saved
absolutely.
himself by
Right.
No,
throwing
Jannetty was
one.
trying to run away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jannetty had a hot date going.
Oh, look at Jannetty. He dove through the window to get away from Sean. Would you stop it?
That makes the
I
line.
love that too. I love when people in the indie scene shit on commentary. Like, I hate when commentary tries to get over. It's like, bro, some of your favorite commentary people in the history of this business are people who got over because they added humor to your commentary.
Right.
Mm.
Right. I've been loving this Drew heel.
They're trying
Drew.
so hard to make it relevant, but if he doesn't win the title, it was a waste of time.
Right. If,
I don't trust
he
the
had-
company with Drew. They walked him into a hero's welcome into like a hometown crowd, even though it wasn't.
and then they lost.
Lost and then made him go sing a song afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think this might actually be his time to like win the belt with a crowd, but like
Sure, but it comes down to the aspect too. Is it like does anyone care about Drew at that level?
No,
right
because it's not about Drew McIntyre. It's all about filling a spot because of injuries.
now?
Like
Right,
if
right,
CM
right.
Punk wasn't injured, if Seth Rollins wasn't injured, if those two things had not happened, Drew McIntyre would not be where he's at right now.
yeah.
Because plans would have been totally different. So that shows you that they just have no concern for Drew McIntyre whatsoever. So your point is 100% valid that you
Right.
cannot trust what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, we've been talking about, Drew McIntyre winning the title and then Damian cashing in on him. Why does it even have to be that? I mean, at this point,
Right.
I would
Have
say
Damian do
no
it
to
quick.
that only because it seems like if Drew's obviously clearly winning the title from
Rollins.
Right. and the move now going forward is CM Punk and his hatred for Drew McIntyre.
Right.
So when Drew McIntyre wins the title, it's no longer it's a Punk versus you're getting Punk versus Drew, and you're prolonging Punk versus Seth, which what everybody wants, and then
Right.
you build that up to be like, oh well, now we finally get the match we didn't have due to injury, but you can
Right.
put something in between to keep it hot and keep it relevant.
which is exactly why I think I really think that they should have
Oh,
Gunther make
I
it through
love the red
Mania
mask.
with the IC title and have Damian
it took
cash
me
in
a
on
minute to
him.
realize who it was.
I think it's a bigger moment for Damian to cash in and end that historic Intercontinental title run than it would be for him to cash in on the world champ,
Right.
because he's not
I
cashing in
think
on Cody.
I think he cashes on Cody.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think
don't-
I think the money is in the chase with Cody. I think you give Cody his moment, you give Cody his flowers, and if he doesn't cash in at Mania, he cashes in soon after. But
Well,
I think he swerves everybody, and
after.
I think that's his ticket out of the Judgment Day to leave them on Raw, and he goes to SmackDown.
Well, and
Right.
it depends what happens with Judgment Day and Mania. If they lose all their titles, I think that's a safe bet because then
Yeah, I think we get to a point where Cody by the end of 2025, 26 maybe racks up 2 or 3 titles, like
Mm.
the same title 2 or 3 times. I think he gets. I think he's someone by the end of his career we're talking
Mhm.
about as a multiple-time world champion.
Right.
could very well be. I mean,
And the only
there's-
way you get those multiple title reigns is if you lose multiple times too.
eh,
Right.
sure,
Right.
sure.
Right. You
Because
wouldn't
I
lose.
think the idea of long title runs, I think WWE realized they might have soured their audience on those.
Right. Because you have so many right now.
Yeah.
I am a little disappointed that they have waited so long for Damien to cash in because I think it's taken away the surprise element because now we have so many scenarios that like we're pretty well locked into where we think okay it's going to be this or it's going to be this. Like there's not as many options because I don't think it's going to be as much of a surprise now.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's victim of circumstances too. Like
Yeah.
I was kind of talking to Adam about this and I tried to explain to Adam. I said I think you're giving WWE's writing team too much credit about having their shit together when historically they have shown us numerous times that stories change on a whim based on what wrestler has an ego and thinks his storyline's better than the writers. And then if a
Right.
writer steps in, then Vince steps in. And there's been nights where they literally scrap an entire Monday Night Raw and throw everything away because somebody walks in and says they don't like it. Like that's pro
Right.
wrestling.
Right.
And I really don't think this bloodline story has been something that they have I think they have an idea, like they have a snippet of what
Right.
the end game is, but I
Right.
think the road to get there has been changed and convoluted many
Right.
times.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of people have had a lot of their inputs in, and that's why I think it's gotten so muddy and so clear because it's not the same person putting it together the entire time.
Right.
And I think The Rock entering that story, he tried to muddy it up worse and then got backlash from the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
like
don't know.
I personally, I would be 100% shocked if they don't know what to do with Damien
Yeah.
and they're still
right.
trying to figure it out.
Right.
I mean,
It's
look
possible.
at I
Yeah.
literally just had her watch the Montreal Screwjob.
Oh
They
wow.
were going in to Bret Hart's final match in the company
Mm-hmm.
and didn't know how it was going to end the night of the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that's peak attitude era. That's peak
yeah.
WWE. That's peak Vince McMahon. That's
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like peak like his writing team and everything like that.
Right.
Like,
That's
everyone
what ran
praises
the-
that era
right.
so
Earl
much.
Hebner. So many
He
big
went
names.
into a pay-per-view and didn't
Mhm.
know the finish. And you're gonna tell me this bloodline thing's been mapped out for 3 years perfectly?
Right.
You're high.
Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe, but right.
No chance. There's no chance.
Well, when you hear about like how more recent Vince and how he kept tearing up scripts, and like changing, I think he's been doing that for decades. That's not like a new concept. I feel like he's been doing that forever, where he comes in last minute, changes the show, and then that's what you get. Even though there's supposed to be storylines that are built up, but I think he's been doing that for years now.
Mhm.
That's just the norm. Vince gets mad.
Yeah, the rewrites have been
Scraps
notorious.
it and then
People have talked
restarts it.
about them. Yeah.
And those shows you can tell because it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Nothing is cohesive. Nothing makes sense. What's been best fashion so far, Lily?
Ooh.
Let's get an update on that.
Yeah. Fashion update.
I'm gonna be honest. To this very moment, at this point in time, the
Mhm.
current winner of all fashion media, you could just move your face if you want.
Why are you hide?
Um,
Why are you trying to hide?
It would be. It's gonna be Andrade. It's just Andrade, right? He's not El Idolo anymore.
No, I think he's just Andrade.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's got the coolest fit so far.
Yes. And who's currently the worst? Go ahead, say it.
Say,
Some
Michael
hideous
Cole.
shorts.
It's Caden and Katana.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Did you see Pat McAfee made Michael Cole pop tonight, and like commentary went quiet for like 3 minutes, like 30 seconds.
No,
Becky was in the corner
I
and
missed
Nia
it.
did like a stink face, and she
was
clearly didn't
rubbing her-
connect.
yeah.
She clearly didn't connect. So Pat Mac, and then she did like the swivel, like dance, like twerk in her face. And Pat McAfee goes, "Becky Lynch playing defense. Nia Jax tried to put that butt right in her nose, and she played defense to move, and Nia Jax dropped that thing down on her." And there's like just enough camera that you can see Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole just goes,
just losing
and
it.
Pat McAfee's like, "Got him," and commentary is dead silent for 30
I
seconds.
love it. That's fantastic.
Go back and watch. This is the small details ABJ sees that a lot of your content.
That would make sense when BP said that he's gonna get a talking to backstage. About
No, that was
line.
before that. I don't know what he said before that.
Oh, all right. I thought that was why he made the comment because of Pat.
Drew Gulak is live on Twitter right now, or Twitch.
What up, Drew?
It's Drew Gulak, Catch Point Wrestling.
Catch point.
There you go. 6-person gauntlet match to determine Gunther's opponent for WrestleMania
Oh,
next week on Raw.
bingo.
Who's
So-
the guy?
Everything I said out the
Yeah.
window.
Everything.
I might as,
Ralph
I might as well should have
throw it in the garbage can. Chuck
I
it in the
should have
garbage.
guaranteed it because everything we guarantee on our show never happens. So I should have just guaranteed
Unless it's ABJ. then it-
well, you know,
That
Then
boy.
then it happens.
yeah, well,
The last two
Why
things
are you
that-
giving credit to this man? Doesn't he have
Because-
enough?
Well,
No, I don't.
I didn't
because
give him
the
credit.
last
Don't look at me.
the last two times he was on our show, he made some sort of guarantee or bet, and he won both bets.
Sean's kissing up to him so he doesn't talk
course
shit
he
about
is.
him anymore.
Right, yeah, because that's gonna work.
No,
Well,
it
you can
won't.
always just
It won't.
you can just carry all of my content and all of my work and all of my Discord on your back like other people.
That seems like a lot of work. I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much shooting.
Oh, it's not that
Shooting.
work at all. It's super
Shooting.
simple. It's literally button presses away.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
shooting.
I don't know, man.
I'm
I don't, I'm not gonna have.
So amped.
I'm not
So
gonna have
amped.
any time to press. The only buttons I'm gonna be able to press are the PS4 controller buttons. I'm not gonna have any time. I was gonna start a new job. but
I
yeah,
think
2K24.
I think
What's that guy?
one of the places I applied to, someone knows someone that knows someone, and they that I applied there, and the person said to like one of the higher ups that they're going to go and talk to them in the office, and they took down my name and phone number.
Nice.
So hopefully I get a
Nice.
job interview tomorrow,
Listen, that's
which-
that's
which
a
is
start.
great, but
That's a
also
start.
like it might also stop a lot of
Hinder.
content coming soon, and also I might not be at Mania weekend because
Mm,
not there long enough to like, hey, can I have a day off? You know,
Right.
and I'm not about to ask for one because your boy's got to work super hard and get a car. Like,
Yep.
if I
yep.
get this
yeah.
job at this pay rate,
I
like
got this.
we're talking 20 plus an hour,
Mm-hmm.
which
That's good.
in local people watching are probably like, ew, poor. But
That's,
where I live,
that's what McDonald's fry cooks make.
yeah. What are you working at McDonald's? Like, no, but
Yeah.
where I live in Pennsylvania, is like that's like a pretty good wage
That's
to
gold.
drive
Yeah,
literally drive a forklift and let the forklift bring stuff into a truck.
the gold
all day long.
standard.
Yeah,
man.
right. Hell yeah.
And dude, if it's a sit down forklift, I've
Even
never
better.
Yeah,
Even
I'm gonna
better.
your boy's gonna get big.
I miss driving forklift. I had a job interview last Thursday as well,
Oh,
Nice.
and I'm waiting to hear back this week because she said normally I tell people to wait until the end of the week. She's like, but it's already like Thursday night, so I wouldn't expect anything until probably the end of next week. So I'm waiting.
Right.
I think
Right.
I think it went very well. We spent probably at least half the interview, maybe more, talking about Opinion City and WrestleMania.
Nice.
Because she's like, I don't know a ton about wrestling. She's like, but I have a friend who's a big fan, and she tells me all kinds of stuff. And I listen to the morning radio show, and the one guy loves talking about wrestling, so I love to listen to him.
Nice.
But she was like, yeah, she was asking me all kinds of questions about the podcast, but So it would be a work from home job. I'd be working
Nice.
for a hospital from home. So I think it's going to work out. It seemed very, and she was like, she took down, because I told her, like, she's like, do you need any time off or whatever? Because it's like 6 weeks paid training.
Right.
So I told her about the first week of April, and so she put that down. It seemed like she was gonna recommend me getting the job, so I'm just waiting to hear back.
Awesome. I hope it works out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Hell yeah.
I hope everything works out for us, man.
Yeah. That's awesome, Ralph.
We
I
need
fucking
jobs.
struggling.
Listen, it is the struggle is real.
Oh, what a good elbow! Like clean as a
that
button.
was a very cool move.
And Apollo sold that so well. He sold like he legit got hit with a spinning elbow elbow.
What are your thoughts, Tony, on them treating this as a debut and not as a return?
Has Andrade ever wrestled on Raw?
Yeah,
He has.
I'm almost positive they had him on the main roster for a short while
Well, let's see.
before he was released or whatever.
I
it
thought he
was.
might have been a SmackDown guy.
All right, let's see here.
I'm for sure I saw him on a Raw at least once or twice.
Yes, he had a tag team title shot on Raw back in 20. Oh wait, hold on. No, those were both. Let's see. Yes, he was a Raw superstar back in 2020, the summer of 2020.
Huh. Well, then yeah, they're treating him like he's brand new, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was telling earlier, I don't think that makes sense because then you're making the fans seem like they're really, really, really dumb, or really, really, really forgetful.
Well,
When we-
was
what-
he just Andrade before, or did he have a different name? Like, is this
No.
like a new character?
No, he was just Andrade El Idolo. It was his full name, but it was still Andrade. It wasn't.
But
it
now he's
wasn't.
dropped it. so
Yeah,
maybe
that
that's why they're
could
calling
that could
it
be a
debut.
thing. They could be saying that. I don't know. I doubt they'll be like, yeah, this guy's never won any NXT titles because that was clearly Andrade El Hidio.
Yeah, right.
It was probably just a fuck up on their part.
Well,
Oh,
and then the
no.
same-
No. It was an announcement, a graphic, the whole thing. This is a debut, and I'm like,
it'll be
Yeah.
he was walking in backstage with his suitcase. It'll be interesting to see what they do when Charlotte Flair comes back. How
Should be
they,
Charlotte
how
El
they treat
Hidio.
that.
right. Nice.
Like acknowledge if they're husband and wife.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
there was.
yeah.
I mean, he didn't say names, but the last promo that he had, he said his wife. Reasons why he came back to us was his wife. He didn't say names, but it was implied.
Yeah,
Interesting.
being very careful about
Very
wording
careful
that.
about saying it, but he pretty much said it. My wife's here.
Well, he won't have that problem anymore at Vince McMahon, where he thinks you're ugly and your wife is too hot for you. He'll put you in storylines where your wife wants to leave you.
Oh,
Right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was he did that to multiple. If Vince thought
Oh,
your
yeah.
girl wasn't good enough for you, he'd put you in storylines like he didn't like Miro.
No.
Clearly,
No, clearly.
he didn't
Clearly
like
not.
Mike Bennett. He did a lot of his booking of Maria was
Mhm.
ugly.
Deplorable.
Bad. Very bad.
Yeah.
You know what sucks to this day? When I
What?
worked with them and I sat with that at a meet and greet, bro, like I get really like I don't know. When I would do meet and greets with talent, if I was with dudes, I didn't really like it. But if I was with females, I felt like I had a different job that day. Like,
Right.
don't let her get on. Like, don't like you got to protect her. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're professional wrestlers. They would beat the shit out of any of those fucking
Sure.
those pencil neck geeks. But
Right.
but also like if you're the keeper that night and you're the one supposed to be making sure they're comfortable and they have a good time at your company, also
Yeah.
keep your fucking fans in check. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
But when I did Mike and Maria, man, like I understand she's done Playboy and I understand she put herself out there like that, but you still can't degrade somebody. And like
Right.
some of the stuff people were
No.
saying, I was just like, and she would just kind of nudge me like, let it go. It's like she would just no sell it.
Right.
And then like people would come up to her and be like, know her but not know Mike. And then remember like, oh, weren't you the guy who like she had a different? And she's like, yeah, that was a silly storyline. That's not real, honey. Like
right.
they still have to, like that's something that hangs with them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
That's why
they're-
people
if-
don't realize, like, when you get booked in a story, sure, you're an independent contractor who can say no, but like you're kind of at the mercy because you're working for your dream job and your dream company, and
Yeah.
everything about this is what you're doing, and you're gonna say yes to more things that you might be uncomfortable with because
Mhm.
you see it as an opportunity, and you kind of swallow shit, but you're not still comfortable with it, and you're still not okay with it.
Right.
Yeah, if you listen to like any of the stuff that Mike and Maria have done, any of their podcasts, or follow them on socials and really follow them, they're completely different people, and you get such a sense of everything that they have been through.
They were easily
together.
hands down my favorite. I've worked. Look at my startup stream. There's probably more people in that photo, like that I didn't take photos with that I've met.
Right.
Mike and Maria were hands down my favorite because I had such a good conversation with them backstage, and like they asked me what I did for the company and what I did there, and like
Right.
what I was like, what I got paid, and like, dude, you should have more worth. Like you should.
Right.
You should look at yourself on a different standard because if you don't start, no one's going to.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, they were 100% right. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't start doing that for myself, and I let it go because I was like, dude, I'm a kid who's in my dream position, doing my dream thing, and I'm watching things that are done and said that I'm not cool with, and
Right.
I just got. But do I stand for my morals or do I stand for working for my dream places? And I valued myself, and then I started standing on my morals, and now I don't work for really any company. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
so it is what it is.
Yeah, I've never met I've never
I
met
lied.
Mike
I
Bennett
do help
before.
and work for High Tension Wrestling,
That is correct.
under the High Tension brand, not
There you go.
all of their brands. So I can't speak for everyone else that's
Right.
under the High Tension brand, but under the High Tension Camp Leapfrog, that thing, I associate with that company, and I like that company.
Right.
So I've never met Mike. I've met Maria twice. The first time was a very sore situation because I considered it the one that got away, because you will see in a minute the photo that I took with her was an absolute disaster, and
Oh no.
they would not let me retake the picture, and I was very upset about that. So it was the one that always got away. That's the picture.
No
Wow.
way.
That's
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let you
wild.
retake
They
it.
would not. They
That
would not let me retake
sucks.
that. I was
That
very pissed about
sucks.
that. So
Is she aware that happened?
she was not at the time. The problem was she was not. It was a Playboy signing in New York City at the Virgin Megastore, and the people at the Virgin Megastore were not running the signing. The people from Playboy were running the signing.
Right.
So the people at the store were like, "There's nothing we can do," because like the Playboy people were like, "You got to go now. You got to get," because they were trying to push as many people through the line as they could.
Right.
I did meet her years later, so that situation got absolutely 100% rectified. She was like
Yeah.
the nicest person
Nice.
ever. But
good. Good.
the problem, it was horrible. But I have followed them. I religiously listen to their podcast. I don't know if anybody's ever heard.
I
it
didn't know they
before,
had
but
one.
They did a podcast for a
Now
while
you
called
know.
Mike and Maria in Wonderland, and it was it lasted probably. I mean, it was probably the better part of a year. For a little while, it was on and off. It wasn't regular because at the time they were both on the road in different companies.
Right.
And so it was very hard for them to kind of find the time to get it done. But I am dying. Like I would absolutely love to get them on the show. They are probably like, if I listed top 5 guests, Mike and Maria would be in that top 5.
Yeah.
Because
Hell yeah.
I just, if anybody out there follows Mike Bennett, if you don't, you should be following Mike Bennett.
If you're
because
having a
Mike
bad
Bennett-
day and you need something to go read or just get a little
follow Mike
focus,
Bennett.
follow Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett is
Absolutely.
legitimately one of the most inspirational people I've ever seen, and I mean, this guy has been through a lot. This guy
Right.
has, come back from addiction and all these things, and honestly, he spends the majority of his time talking to other people, trying to bring other people up, and
Right.
trying to inspire other people, and trying to motivate other people.
When
Yeah,
I
you
was
don't-
there was a fan who was larger, and he said, "Mike, I want to try losing some weight." He's like, he's like, but he goes, I want to lose weight, but and I guess this guy has followed Mike to like 2 or 3 different places like recently because they did like a run. And he's like, yo, I the other 2 places I didn't really have a chance to talk to you or meet you, but like I met you a while back and you were my favorite, and I bought this shirt, and he has like an old Mike shirt, and he's like, I'm losing a bunch of weight, but one of the biggest things I'm upset about is losing all this weight is I'm gonna lose this shirt. And Mike goes, and Mike's like, well, listen, man, like, lose your weight. And the guy, he goes, well, how much do you think I should lose? Like, I need you to motivate me. He goes, I'm not going to tell you a number weight because the numbers are not good, man. You just do whatever you can when you can and do it at your own pace. He goes, but I'll tell you what, man, he goes, and he literally followed the guy on Twitter on his personal Twitter account.
Nice.
And he says, dude, the second you hit your goal weight, whatever goal weight you want to do, when you get to a point where you're comfortable and you need new t-shirts, you let me know and I'll send you every shirt I have.
That's awesome. That's really
incredible.
cool.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I really want to talk to them. I met this guy on Facebook the other day, and I sent you guys this I think I sent it in the BFC chat. I met this guy on Facebook the other day that commented on one of my posts in a WrestleMania 40 fan group. I had posted something about Opinion City, and he followed us and then sent me his podcast. But he basically, and this guy gets big names. Like, this guy is he's a radio host in Nashville, but he gets big
That'll
names.
do it.
He just had Brian Blair from the Killer Bees, and he talks to wrestlers that it's called Wrestling with Heart, and he talks to wrestlers who use their celebrity and their status as wrestlers to help people and help their communities.
Oh, I love that.
That's what
That's
they
really
talk
cool.
about, and it is called Wrestling with Heart. If anybody wants to go follow them on YouTube, you'll be able to find it. It's Stanley
Absolutely.
Carr is his name. But yeah, I thought this guy was great. But again, it's these people that are using what they have for good and to help others.
Right.
Yeah. And when I said the radio thing, that's why. The reason I say that is because if you are like, hey, I'm a radio host / podcaster, I'd like to have you on. Now, radio also has this problem, but not as much as podcasters do. When someone who works in journalism or someone who works at like media, when they say, yeah, I work at this radio station or I work at this network, you're more likely to get the clearances from the right places or get opportunities to interview talent.
It's easier to,
or you have a company that pays what the rate is for that guest, because once you get to a certain caliber of person, you're going to have to pay for it.
I've been looking at that recently. So
here's my deal. I kind of said this on my stream, but you guys weren't there. But I kind of talked about how we talked about stuff like that.
Right.
And I said I'm just not at a point where I would pay for an interview.
Right.
Mhm.
And I'm not. That doesn't mean that I would never do it or I think it's immoral or anything like that.
Right.
Because I think at some point in time, and this is why I value interviewing guests, and I wish more podcasters seen it from this standpoint, but anytime a guest is willing to give me 30, 45 an hour, over an hour on a podcast, that's time away from their family, that's time away from their friends, that's time away from their life of things they want to do your podcast for free. And if they do your interview and you don't take the time to make a clip or two or putting something out there that says, hey, I was really happy that this guest was on my show, then they feel like they've wasted their time being on your podcast, because you essentially were booking them for their name, hoping that you would tag them and they would share it, and then they would get views off of you because you don't want to put the work in. And that's why a lot of people have a hard time, like us, getting guests on our podcast at a higher level, because we don't have the money to pay, or we're kind of buried in a line of podcasters who aren't taken seriously.
Right.
Yeah. But if I ever got to a point where I had like sponsorships, so like say if I made a membership tier and I on YouTube and I got 300 people to do $5-10 a month, dope. I would most likely use it to keep the podcast going. But then say on top of it, you get a Blue Chew sponsor and they say, we're giving you $1,000 a month to do our recordings. I would take that $1,000 and pay my guests, or actively try to get more guests, because I'm not paying for the guests. My sponsorship is. You know what I mean? Like it's not coming out of my pocket that I use to pay my bills.
Right.
But yeah, definitely drop that guy's link. Oh, you resend that link to our chat so I can go follow him. I definitely want to listen to him.
Yeah.
I had, just as just as a side note, I had a guest the other day that I thought was a pretty big name, and I managed to talk to them, and I said, listen, we'd really like to have you on the podcast. I gave them the whole spiel, and they were like, yeah, I'd love to do your podcast, but it's going to be $119.99 plus tax. And I'm like, oh, I just spent that on 2K24. What am I supposed to do now? Like that exact amount. Yeah.
Honestly, though, what that guest said, I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, I see. Here's my thing. I don't think that's unreasonable. And this is something we can talk about off the air because I happen to know the person, and I felt like
I think that's insanely unreasonable. Not unreasonable. What I'm saying.
No. I happen to know this person. I knew them before I reached out to them, and I could have probably said to them, hey, you and I have worked together before, but I didn't think it was unreasonable. My whole thing was I was just about like, this is going to set a precedence in my mind. If I start paying for guests now, even at that, if I think it's okay now, I'm going to start thinking it's okay all the time. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be that person. And it's not that I don't value people's time. And it's not that I don't value,
you're at a point right now where you're trying to chase a dream, and it can't come out of your pocket, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's my deal too. And most of us are going to be interviewing independent people or independent talent, independent wrestlers, and not every independent wrestler, let's be honest, gets paid booking fees.
Sure.
So at this point in time, we're all on the same level, and we're all trying to get the same thing, and we're all trying to grow at the same time.
Right.
So to say, hey, I'm an independent wrestler who really works for free at other places and barely gets $20, because I know what you all get paid, because I was part of that pay cycle. But to say to someone like, hey, I what I charge for my wrestling appearance is what I'm charging for your podcast. That's like that's kind of unacceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and I will say, I did think, like, I did not at all think that what they were asking for the podcast.
I don't think they were either, but I understand your mind state.
And I don't, and I think that there may be a point where I say to them, hey, let's revisit this, because I think I'd like to, I would still like to talk to that person.
Right.
So I don't think that it's, again, it was completely reasonable as far as what
I was hit with a $500 one.
Jeez.
I'll come on they approached me about being on my podcast and then said, here's the only thing you have to pay me this. And I went,
yeah,
I didn't even approach you about my podcast.
Yeah. Right.
I won't say names, but Ralph, didn't we approach somebody, or they approached us and they offered us like, it was like $100 and something or $150 for the podcast?
So no, what happened was, so there's a local podcast in my area that they are part of an internet radio station. They have a studio here and everything, and they do a podcast where they interview local people who are doing things, who have events, who have things like podcasts. So I reached out to them, and they told me that it would be like, we started making plans for the podcast, and then like when we had finally come up with a date, they were like, okay, well, it's going to be $150 to be on the podcast. Some research and some info on them, and they have been around for, a long time. We're probably talking, this radio station's been around for like 10 years. They have less followers on YouTube than we do, and their videos look like the absolute drizzling shits. Like, it is terrible. Like, I could in 5 minutes I could teach them 100 things that they need to do to make it look better. And I was like, you want me to pay $150 for this? Like,
your exposure is not worth $150.
Right. Yeah.
No, their exposure on my show is worth them paying me $150.
Right.
I've got a better reach than they do.
Yeah, that honestly, that's a thing too, right? So say if an independent wrestler wants the wrestler to pay you to pay the wrestler to do it, that's fine. But like, also like, you, as a podcaster, what point do you start valuing yourself of being like, actually, to be on my show?
Yeah,
I don't think I would ever get to that point where I would tell a guest they have to pay to be on it. But like,
no, because you and I have talked about the fact that like, we're here for the independent community. We're here for these people because we want to.
I'm trying.
Get them exposure.
I feel like I've been grinding at 6 years supporting a community that knows I'm the guy who's actively working his ass off to do it, but then
Yeah.
also doesn't value me the same way that I try to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I feel like I
Well,
could be I feel like I could be a better resource for most people, and I think they see that too, but they also don't see it enough to share or
Well,
go the next
I'm gonna-
step to make
I'm
me
gonna
grow,
tell
help
you
me grow.
Right.
I'm going to tell you flat out that I have supported a certain professional wrestler since day one, since the very beginning, since they got in the business. I supported this person and their tag team partner. I was coming to shows with shirts before they had merchandise. I was making my own shirts and coming to shows, and they finally got a bit of success where they made a few TV appearances here and there. They weren't signed anywhere, but they made a few appearances and they started their own promotion, which is gaining some decent traction. And so I reached out to them and I said, listen, I said, I reminded them who I was, like, because it had been quite some time since we had talked. So it wasn't, I hadn't seen them in a while. So we kind of had a little conversation. I reminded them who I am. They remembered who I was. We kind of talked about, old days and things like that. And so I asked them about being on my podcast, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, no, thank you. I don't have the time." And then literally 2 weeks later, they were on someone else's podcast. And I'm a person that's usually pretty even keeled. Certain things will set me off, and when I feel like I'm being flat out disrespected by somebody, because this has happened twice now, where I felt like I was flat out disrespected by somebody, I lose my shit. Like I go, fucking nuclear. And this was one of those situations where I was like, anytime you say something about like working in this business and supporting people who don't support you, I think about that. Because I'm like, you know what? I know exactly how he feels because I've had that experience. I know exactly what he's talking about, where you feel so disrespected because you have spent so much time trying to help other people with no ulterior motives whatsoever, and the one time you ask them to support you back and they're just like, fuck off.
Yeah, dude, I've interviewed people who I was their first interviews, and then they went on a podcast that has a little more outreach or a little more support because more people have got behind them and supported them. And I'm not going to say this to sound bitter, but I they're not better. Their quality's not better. Their tone's not better. They're not as entertaining, but because they have more people who physically back them and say, we like this person and this is our podcaster, they get more shine and more people run to them. And I've had people who I've like done everything for, and they immediately like got the opportunity to be on this thing and they thought it was bigger and better, and they dumped me, like stopped talking to me and everything. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, and it pissed me off. And like, there's a lot of things that I've gotten disrespect for being a podcaster and being in this industry. Like, I don't think I was taken as seriously as a commentator at first. I don't think I was taken seriously at production for a while. I thought for a long time I'd go work at these rostered and I'd be at every single show and they didn't even know who my name was. And that all comes, but like I got to a point now, man, where like I use that log on my fire to like I said, the ABJ is ran on heart, determination, and spite. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'd be lying to you right now, whoever's listening who supports me, that like a part of me doesn't take all of my hurt and all of my pain and all of my setback and all of my disrespect, and I use that to be like, you can't quit now.
Right.
And then you know what the fucked up part is, dude? As I probably hit a point where I will blow up, and I'm not saying I'm going to blow up and I'm going to get big, and I still probably wouldn't disrespect those people who put those fuels on my fire.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3, but a lot of these are getting passes. Thank you, Jesus.
It's hard.
Jesus. Can we write that down? He said that today.
Jesus died for your sins, so I won't hold
Thank
grudges.
you, Jesus.
Yes. I don't know. It's very hard for me sometimes. We have supported people. We have done things to support people, and then I've had someone turn around and say, and again, I'm not trying to bring up any, like, I'm not trying to start anything, but like we have had someone who has basically said to us, why would I bother working with you? What am I going to get out of it? After we have taken time and effort to support them, promote them, go out of our way to do things to promote them, not asking for a single thing from them, and then for them to say something like that, like it just, I don't know.
It makes
I
you
have-
want
I
to
have a
quit
real hard-
first. There's like a 45-minute window there. You're like, why the fuck am I wasting my time on
Right.
this?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck do I keep turning my microphone on? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can go
you-
and fall into fucking insecurity and chase my job and have no fucking heart, skull, and dreams, but I want to be that person either.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, then you also think to yourself, like, all right, do I want to rebrand my content? Because do I want to keep chasing a fucking industry and people who don't give a fuck about the people in my field? And then you think to yourself, I work really hard. I put a lot of effort in. Like every single guest gets their own fucking logo and their own thing, and we do all this fucking work that 90% of podcasters don't do. And this is where I get. And then I look at these other podcasters who try to be in the same realm or say we're the same thing, and I'm like, you barely fucking work, and your
Right.
laziness is why I'm not being taken seriously.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because anyone can fucking turn a camera on and do this. And listen, there's fucking journalists and real journalists and people who paid money to go to school and fucking do this to be like, yo, you're a fucking YouTuber who didn't do it the steps I did. And I
Right.
get that. But at least I'm fucking putting effort into a camera and a microphone, and I
Right.
think I'm entertaining. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
some people can't
just-
even talk and they want to be podcasters.
Yep.
Not just phoning this shit in. We're actually
Yeah, you
putting
know what I mean?
something into it.
There's
Yeah.
a lot, dude. I honestly, this is why I like these hangouts, because I don't think a lot of people in our industry talk about this kind of stuff, or the struggles you go through as a content creator or as a podcaster, or even boil it down more in an industry like we're in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I
Right.
think I
Mhm.
think this is good for fucking people to hear how fucking hard and honestly, like how much I fucking relate to you guys, because I'm one of the only ones who vocally says about a lot of this shit. So I'm glad
Right.
that other people are saying it too.
Right.
So I've been having some issues lately, and this is something that is really eating away at me, that I really get like pissed about on a daily basis. If I take the time and effort to reach out to you, especially if I talk to you in person, first off, and
Yeah.
we have a good conversation, but even if I don't talk to you in person and I take the time to reach out to you, don't fucking ignore me.
Right.
Like, I am fine with
Yeah.
anybody in the
Yeah.
entire world saying to me, no, thank you, or no, I'm sorry, I just don't have time for that. Or I'm fine with anybody like legitimately saying that to me, but don't
Mhm.
fucking ignore me.
right.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
driving me insane. Like, if you don't want to work with me or you don't want to do anything with me, that is fine. Like, that is your
Right.
that is your right to decide who you want to work with or what you want to do. But
Yeah.
don't, and it drives me insane when people see the messages I send them, and I know
Oh, I was
they
literally
Yeah.
about to say
Yeah.
you're gonna enter a world
hit
where you're
the
gonna be seen,
wall.
left on scene a lot.
Seen, but not. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
When the person who left you on scene messaged you back like 8 months later, and like,
Oh,
hey
dude.
man, I want
Yeah.
to say, like, is that spot still open for your podcast? And I'm like, nah, man,
Yeah.
I'm booked up.
No. Yeah. No. We're
Yeah.
all booked up. Right.
Yeah, we had.
And
we
I've
had-
done
we
that
had
to
a-
people
that-
who are really big names
That
in
was
the
yeah.
independent wrestling scene.
Mhm.
I've had people who have left me on scene for 8 months and then reached out and like, yo, so how about that spot? And I go, sorry, man, I'm booked for the next couple
Right.
months. I'll put you on my list though.
right.
Yeah,
That
right.
was basically our plan for who Ralph mentioned earlier. That without saying names, about if they ever want to come back on, we're like, no, thank you, we're good.
Yeah,
No thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't purposely bash people or put people under, but I log it.
No, I'm not putting names out. Yeah,
log
I
it.
don't. No, I'm not about.
Now, if you
putting names
disrespect
out
me
public.
publicly and go out there and say it,
Yeah,
look
then
the
we have a
fuck
problem.
Oh
out.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't. I love when people fucking. My favorite. I could have tagged 300 people in so many different instances of people saying, "I don't like when I work really hard on my craft and then I put something out there and it only gets one share." And I go, "So if I scroll through your whole timeline, is your timeline going to be filled with you sharing other people's shit?"
Right.
Because I know
Right.
for a fact you've been knowing I've been making
Oh.
art or doing my thing forever, and
Paul
you
Heyman
haven't
video.
shared once.
Oh,
Yep.
never mind.
So
Not showing anything
fucking
good.
don't be a crybaby. Don't be a crybaby. If you're gonna sit there and say
Exactly.
no one's sharing my stuff or I'm not getting exposure, you don't do it to anybody else. So why the fuck would anyone do it for you?
Right. Right.
It pisses me off when I'm known as the guy who supports everybody,
Right.
and then I see one share on my post. I'm like, oh, so that's become my personality. And then you realize everyone fucking Tony, oh my god, you fucking put over the scene so well. We love you. And then it's just like, and they scroll right by it. I'm like,
Right.
all right, cool. Maybe I should start being more open and fucking a dickhead.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm at a point where it's like I don't really have the viewers or followers anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so what's the worst
Right.
that happens? This guy sucks. Don't work with him. Fucking nobody was anyway.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I just I had a conversation with some people the other night, and the question was brought up, does it bother you if people don't like you? And
No.
I thought to myself, I'm like, that's very relatable to what I'm doing right now, because that's what it is. That's what it comes down to for me. Because like when somebody ignores me, or somebody like blatantly says like, no, I don't have time, and then like 2 days later does somebody else's podcast or something like that, I take it very personally. I take
Yeah.
it to the point where like that person has something against me, that they don't want to do this, like,
Or they don't
it-
take you serious. I think it's more or less they don't take you the person seriously, which is
Right.
almost worse.
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't
I have a real
like
hard
you or
time with that.
dislike you. They just don't. You're not.
Dude, I'm just nothing to them.
Yeah, you're
Right.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
hurts
and
worse. Yeah.
It does. Like
Mhm.
I will tell you right now. Sean and I had conversations on the phone. We had conversations through Messenger about a very specific situation where, again, this person was like, why should I bother working with you? What am I going to get out of it?
Right.
And you talk to my wife, she will tell you, I was ballistic for about an hour.
Is this an independent wrestler?
No.
Okay,
We'll talk off screen.
bro. Because
I don't-
if you would have said it's an indie wrestler and then sent me the name, I would have been like, "Yo, fuck that!" Like I would have been pissed.
Right.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it, but yeah, because I'm not about putting names out. I'm not about causing drama. I'm not
No,
about
no,
causing issues. Like I don't want that. That's not what I'm about. It's interesting because we had one. I try not to generally be negative on our podcast,
No.
because I don't want to put out that vibe. I don't want to
No.
be
No.
that person. I don't want to put negativity out into the world. I
Mm-hmm.
don't generally have a problem with people where I need to go on a podcast and say something about it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't want to be that person. And I realized that one of our earlier podcasts, we did a podcast that was positive and negative. And that was a real turning point for me when I realized that, because I'm like, that's not the person I want to be. That's not the kind of podcast I want to have.
Mhm.
So from that moment forward, we didn't do a single topic or a single discussion on any of our podcasts that could be construed as negative, because I don't
Right.
want to be one of those people that puts negative vibes out into the world. Like,
Right.
so I'll just throw it out there. We did an overrated, underrated show, and we talked about people that we thought were completely overrated. And I thought to myself, you know what? That's really subjective, because who am I
Yeah.
to say somebody's overrated? What do I
Right.
know about the world of wrestling to say
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah, yeah.
overrated? And two, I thought like, that's kind of mean. Like some of the shit I said on there was, could be construed as pretty mean.
And you
So
never
I
know
was
the
like,
day you're gonna meet the person, and you look like a giant hypocrite because you're like, this person sucks, and then you meet them in person, you're like, and then
I
you're
think-
all over their content, like, you have
Yeah.
more followers than me, so I'm gonna be your friend and hope you put me over. But if you go back and listen to
Yeah.
my past content, I'm trashing you.
Right.
I felt really bad about it. So that was like a real turning point for me, where I was like, okay, I know, at that point, I didn't 100% know exactly what I wanted the podcast to be or what it was
Yeah.
going to be, but I knew
Right.
it wasn't going to be negative anymore.
Right.
Like I wasn't going to do anything that like, I don't need to be putting negative energy out into the world.
There's
'cause
a way
too much
to
of that
still
already.
say that something's not for you and not be
Mhm.
negative about it. Like,
Right.
Sure.
like when I say I'm not a huge Sting fan, I respect the shit out of Sting. I'm not a huge Darby fan. He
Yeah.
The way he wrestles and his style does not reflect, but I also make it clear to be like, my opinion on their character they're portraying in this industry is not a reflection on who I think they are as a person.
Right.
Right,
Now, if I meet you and I don't like who you are as a person,
Right.
that's different.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a whole different that's a
Awesome
whole
Aries.
different animal. Because yeah, I mean, how many people have you met that are just giant turd baskets?
Dude, he
Right,
legit
right.
looked at heavy like people in his line that were fat and were like, maybe if you guys stop eating meat, you wouldn't be such big pieces of shit.
Christ.
He's like
Wow.
he's like the
Jesus.
vegan, but like tells you you're a horrible human being for being like He was kind of he sucked. I didn't like him.
Wild. Wild.
But you know who he was sitting with that day?
Who?
And the only reason I had to go near him because I didn't want to in the first place. Frank Mir was with him.
Oh wow.
I met Frank Mir,
Oh, jeez.
and I was
That's
like,
cool.
bro, what the fuck are you doing at a wrestling show?
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, first off, are you gonna start wrestling? He's like, I'm thinking about it. And I was like,
oh
bro,
shit.
you and Josh Barnett in this world would be fucking awesome for a wrestling
Right.
fan to watch.
Right.
I was like, bro, I want
yeah.
Frank Mir of Bloodsport against Josh Barnett, and he goes, maybe.
that
That was 5
Possibly.
years ago. We
Yeah.
still haven't seen it, so
Mm.
I don't want to put anything out there that's like breaking
Yeah.
news. Some guy said he talked to Frank Mir and he was trained to be a wrestler. It's like this is 5 or 6 years ago, and
Yeah.
Frank Mir I don't think ever had a match ever. So
No.
I think he showed up at her place and he's like hanging out with a wrestler. He's like, yo, can I get in on a fucking table?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple bucks.
Pretty much.
And I gave him those couple bucks because I was like
Nice.
a
Nice.
Frank Mir fan.
Frank, listen.
That's
Could you
totally
imagine
cool.
Frank Mir though? Realistically, I mean, if he should have never taken the rematch because he could have literally done every con and been like, "I'm the guy who fucking made Brock Lesnar tap."
Right.
I
Right.
beat Lesnar, your champ, but then
Could've.
he got fucking housed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Austin Aries was training him. That's why, and then that's why. And did I say Austin Aries before when I said bad people?
Yes.
I want to make sure I
Uh,
didn't say the wrong name
You did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because in my brain I'm like, did I say Ace Austin?
No, you didn't.
no,
Um,
I would have been like, fuck
that's
you.
opposite. That's good.
Yeah.
Austin's good.
yeah, but my brain puts two names together sometimes, and then dyslexia
Right.
kicks in, and I say the wrong one.
Nope. I get it.
Uh,
I get it. 100%.
yeah, but yeah, he was trading Frank at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what sucks too? If we can stop, like, I don't mind commercials, right? But don't
Mhm.
also do a commercial of your product that you're watching because then we
Right.
can't decipher if it's a promo, if it's a recap, or if it's a commercial before the TV show turns back on.
Right.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the?
Because we got two back-to-back commercials that are for WWE,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go back to WWE, and then they're gonna hit us with a commercial in another 40 minutes or 20 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan.
But I was gonna say because we were talking about it before you came on stream. But what are your thoughts on the Netflix Raw deal? Do you think they're gonna somehow do no ads? They're gonna do a full 3 hours, a 2 hours?
I think they've already
like-
announced that once they go to this TV deal style thing, they're going to add more TV, and there will be a free version of Netflix that will have commercials.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you have like just Netflix, then you get like a ad free, I
Ad-free.
guess, tier.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the ad free.
But
But it'll probably be very similar to what they do with PLEs on Peacock, where it's ad free, but you're getting like storyline recaps and things.
yeah, I
you know,
want to. Yeah.
strategically placed in there.
I'm just curious if they keep the 3 hour format for Netflix or if they go back down to 2.
I'd be surprised if they go back to 2.
I don't know. I still think that 3 hours for a show is way too much.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it once a month. I get that part. But every week, 3 hour show, it's like, how?
Yeah, it's a
How?
bit much.
It's so much. 2
I wish I knew
hours?
how to make my logo on my fucking Mania one like pop out, like where it looks like it's jumping off out of the page.
If you're doing it,
I don't know how to do it
If-
in Canva.
I would say, if you're doing it in Canva, you just layer it, and then it just builds up by itself.
No, that's ridiculous. That should be like a fucking thing you could just do.
He doesn't want to save, bring it back in,
Yeah, I don't want to do all that.
do it again, save, bring it back in, do it again.
That should just be like add a shadow. It should be like that should be like a emboss. Like that should be a button.
Mm, I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying, I know other ways of doing it, just not the easy way.
No, I don't want, that's too much.
Correct.
That's too much. I already do too much. I can't.
I'm
can't,
sorry
I
that
can't add
the-
a layer.
No, see, you have to be smart like I did. You have to find somebody that's, easily susceptible to suggestions and addict them to Canva.
The
What's
good
They do
name.
all the work.
What's it? I choose to do the work. All right, I choose to do the work.
Listen, I would seriously be a great cult leader. I'm not saying that for any nefarious reasons, but I would be a great cult leader because people always believe what I say, even when I say the most ridiculous things. People think I'm saying the truth. Like I have a shirt that says "Who needs luck? I have charm," and it's 100% correct because I could easily lead a cult to their doom.
This is a babyface thing for them to do. Did they just become babyface?
I
I don't know.
don't know.
Um,
I do find it funny that they just gave Cole the
I'm just shocked.
The
Yeah,
crown.
I'm shocked that Michael Cole is playing along with all of this.
it's a gift that keeps on giving. I love Cole.
So, so this was where is it here?
Pat McAfee just an asshole on commentary.
Yep.
So here's a good one. Any predictions who's going to induct Heyman?
A previously inducted member of ECW.
There you, go.
Think?
Yeah.
Really?
Or
Because I
CM Punk.
guess. Yes, that was my guess.
Right.
CM
Yeah,
Punk.
CM Punk. Yeah.
That was my thought.
I can see
Is-
Rob Van Dam. I can see Dudley Boy like Bubba or Devon.
Dreamer.
Yeah.
Is Dreamer in the Hall of Fame?
No,
No,
but he might be.
but-
he might be going
but-
in this year.
But I could see him being the one that would induct Heyman.
I don't think he would be inducting Heyman unless if he was already inducted himself, because that's where you run into your trap where it's like, all right, let's bring Tommy Dreamer in to induct Heyman, and then the fans are like, well, why isn't Dreamer in?
I think that Dreamer's going to end up being in this year.
I do
think it's
too.
going to happen.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a very heavy ECW. If we
right.
didn't get you in the ECW Hall of Fame, we're gonna get you now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we're
Batista
thinking Heyman-
is rumored, right?
What?
There's been talks about that, but I don't know that relations are really that good with him in WWE right now.
Who?
No, really.
So Batista, yeah.
Right.
So So we've got Heyman. We're talking Dreamer. Who else do we think? ECW Zombie.
ECW Zombie.
You know.
Can you imagine?
Who was the general manager of ECW? Tiffany. That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know
think
who
those two
else
are going
is.
in.
There's so many
Yeah,
names.
I don't know.
So many names.
Unfortunately, it won't be Raven.
No,
Although that would be my vote.
that would be very interesting, though, for sure.
Look, if you're going the ECW route,
Sandman.
there's-
I can see being Sandman.
The rumors were Paul Heyman, Tommy Dreamer, Victoria, The Rock, and the Warrior Award going to Vladimir Superfan.
Oh wow,
And then Celebrity Wing can be Cyndi Lauper.
That's
right.
a good one. I still think Miss Elizabeth is a possibility this year.
Yeah.
She's in the video game, and it's the first time that her family's allowed anything to be really done with her.
Right.
So I think there's still a possibility there.
The new video game commercial though looks really good.
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so amped to buy it. Ralph's gonna.
Oh, Brian
Yeah, what
Pillman. That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Ooh, Brian Pillman, yeah,
for sure.
King Kong Bundy.
Ooh,
yeah. Because didn't Brian Pillman's family just sign a Legends deal?
I
Yeah.
think
So
so.
that would
Yeah.
make
And they
sense.
just hired his kid.
So that would make
Right.
absolute sense. Who was
Yep,
the other
yep.
one you said?
They said in the chat, King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
That's a very good
'cause
one.
that's- Yeah, that's a really good one.
Is Muhammad Ali in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No.
They've been pushing him real hard.
He's in the video game, so
Yeah.
He's in the
yeah.
video game. They
He
just
is.
In the
they
video
just made
game,
a
he's-
bunch of toy line for him too.
he's
He's
going to
be in the WWE
playable
Superstar
character.
line, and he's getting an Ultimate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then they made a new Hasbro too.
Nice.
Like you know how they're making the new retro Hasbros.
Yeah.
They made a new Hogan and somebody, I forget who it was, and fucking Muhammad Ali. I think Cyndi Lauper got a fake.
Were those the ones that you were showing me the other day?
I think I've seen the
those-
pictures.
No,
of
no,
those.
the ones I
figures?
sent you were a different company.
Okay. Those are cool though. I was so mad the other day. You shared that exclusive pop vinyl of Mass Kane,
Oh yeah.
and then as
Yeah.
soon as I went online to order it, it was sold out. I was like, damn it! I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh. I
Bam
think
Bam Bigelow is not in the Hall of Fame.
they're dropping one on the
Good
8th.
one.
The next
Yeah.
one on the 8th. So I'm curious to see who it's gonna be. Do you remember when those CM Punk figs were supposed to be released? Summer?
It's still in the
Pre-order stage.
pre-order stage. Like that was when you ordered it that day. That was the last day of pre-orders.
Right.
So now they're gonna get a list of how many they have to make and then start making them. So they're not made yet.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that when were they saying that they were going to ship them?
I don't think they said.
summer.
I don't think they said. I think they're gonna tell you that it's in the production phase and in this phase.
Right.
People who are not in the WWE Hall of Fame, according to this website, as of 2022. So this could be wrong.
Okay.
Andy Kaufman,
Oh wow.
Bam Bam Bigelow,
Right.
Correct.
Batista,
Correct.
Right.
Big Show,
Correct.
Brian Pillman,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Bruce Pritchard,
Correct.
Chris Jericho,
Yep.
China Solo,
Correct.
Dean Malenko,
Wow.
Dem-
Demolition,
Yeah.
Dynamite
Demolition.
Kid,
Demolition's never going in.
Earl
Yeah.
Hebner.
Earl
Wow.
Hebner's never going in.
No.
Here's one that could be likely due to him getting some recent stories told for him, unless they're very anti-WWE stories. Earthquake.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I think most of I don't know. That's a good one though.
Yeah, it is.
And they just released Earthquake and Typhoon figures.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night's his Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Finley,
Finley's a
Giant
good one.
Baba,
Yeah. Giant Baba.
Gold Dust, Haku,
Mm-hmm.
Hayabusa,
Right. Hayabusa.
Erwin R. Shyster,
IRS. Right.
Ivan Volkov,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Cornette.
Now these are names that are not in.
Well, are not Jim
Okay.
Johnson, John
He-
Cena,
I'll never
Ken
have-
Shamrock, which he
Good
just
though.
signed a deal.
Yeah, and he's
Lex
in the game.
Luger, Lillian Garcia,
Right.
Michelle McCool,
Mhm.
Miss Elizabeth, the
Yeah.
Nation of Domination.
Mm.
Yo.
That would be,
Oh, that
a,
would
good
be a good one.
introduction.
That'd be a great pick.
I was talking about the kick he just took to the
Owen
face.
Hart, Raven,
That's never gonna happen. I
Rick
don't think.
Martel, Sable. Now with the whole Brock thing, I think that's unlikely. Shane
Right.
McMahon, which I think is unlikely.
Yeah.
Slick. He was a manager of like everybody. He was
Yep.
one of the first African American managers.
Right.
Boss man on our
Stacy
team.
Keebler, Psycho Sid.
I think Stacy was recently in the Hall of Fame though, so that might have changed.
Yeah, Stacy
Taz,
Keebler's in.
the Glamour Girls, the
Oh,
Great
that's a good
Muda, but Muda was just put in, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I-
Moto was
yeah.
just put in.
Midnight Express, The Rock, the Steiner Brothers,
I think they
Steiner
were.
brothers are in.
Undertaker,
Yeah.
but he was put in since then. Tommy Dreamer, Triple H Solo. I doubt it.
No.
Mhm.
Vader. He was. Was he put in yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Victoria. Vince McMahon, unlikely.
Holy crap.
William
Oh.
Regal.
Very unlikely.
And William Regal.
Mm.
Oh,
One
Regal
man
for
gang.
sure.
Yeah. Mick Foley. Has Mick Foley been put in?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
in.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's in.
Has Terry Funk been put in?
No, I don't. Yes, Terry Funk, because
Yes.
the Funk brothers went in together. The WrestleMania 25. I was there for that one. It's
Do
the
you
same year
think?
as Austin, they went
Do you think Bray Wyatt gets put in?
I think if not this year, then next year.
in. Maybe? Yeah,
Or-
it depends. Yeah, I would think that he's probably next year, because I don't think because now that you've got Paul Heyman in, they're not going to want to overshadow one over the other. I don't think. So I
Right.
think Bray Wyatt will probably be like headliner next year because that'll be a big one. That'll be
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that'll be a mess.
I can see Paul saying, "Put somebody else bigger than me and not make me the main one."
That's true.
I could definitely see that, but I don't think they'd listen.
Yeah. Right.
He'd pull a Tony Khan, be like, "You're going undefeated, bro."
Yeah. Right.
So I said
You're going-
Terry Funk was at 09.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes, that was he went in with his brother. The Funk brothers went in together. Yeah.
Holy
Here's an
shit.
unpopular opinion.
Sorry.
If someone gets inducted, do they get inducted? Do they just get inducted themselves? Like if him and his brother got inducted. Like when
Right.
they say, "Well, now you have to go in solo." Do you have to still go in under your solo accomplishments? I don't think so. I think if like Bubba's in, I don't think you have to put Bubba in as a solo guy either.
No.
Right.
No. I think the only way that happens is if you're talking like large
Stables.
factions. Yeah, stables.
Faction.
And,
If your
Like-
faction's put in,
Right.
yes.
Right.
yeah.
But if you're historically a tag team guy and then you had a like Kofi,
Yeah.
does Kofi
Right.
go in solo or do they just do the whole New Day?
they just do
Right.
the whole New Day.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I
Look who
think.
came out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Big Bronson Reed.
I think he should be the one that wins the match. I would love to see him versus
I like Bronson Reed. Yeah.
Gunther. That'd be a match.
I think they're trying to get this Sammy sympathy again.
No, I hear you, but what I'm saying is that I would love to see Bronson Reed versus Gunther.
Here's my thing: if Sami Zayn doesn't win the IC title, I don't think he resigns.
No,
Oh, that's a good one.
why is his expiring soon
Him and Kevin. Yep.
Yeah.
after Mania or like a few months after Mania?
A few months after Mania.
Okay.
So if he doesn't win the IC title, do you think that's a motivator for him?
I think
and
they have
Kevin to go
no
at the
plans
same
for
time?
him, and he moves on.
right.
But do you think that's motivator for him and Kevin to go at the same time? Like if they both like their
I
contracts
think
are both going to
think
be
Kevin
up?
was on the So he will be Kevin Owens will be his contract will end up in late 2024.
Okay.
So if Sammy goes and he gets signed by AEW, you think that's even more motivation for Kevin to go? Because they'll offer him a deal.
Right. I don't know if they'll have to go together, but I feel like it would make sense if they did go together.
Here's a list of wrestlers contract ending in
24.
This
All
year.
right. Yeah. Hold on. Sami Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
Wade Barrett,
Oh, okay.
Seth Rollins,
He'll resign though.
Ricochet, Randy, Pat McAfee,
Wait, didn't Orton? Oh no, Orton was injured. Never mind.
the entire New Day ends in December of 2024.
Oh wow.
Montez Ford, Drew McIntyre, Becky Lynch, Sheamus, Angelo Dawkins, Alexa Bliss, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Jinder Mahal.
Okay. I feel like half of them will probably resign, and the other half will either choose to go or choose to stay.
AEW, I don't think take Ricochet.
What?
I don't think AEW would take Ricochet.
Why?
I think Ricochet is going to be more of your Impact guy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I see. Ricochet is going to be your TNA Impact indie scene, working GCW, flying all over the place,
Right.
possibly doing New Japan appearances. I don't think he's an AEW is bloated right now.
Well, yeah.
And out of that list of people, if they became available, Ricochet, I don't think is high on that list.
I see
Right.
Ricochet ending up like MLW. Like that'll be like his first big indie appearance afterwards. Like because they're big on bringing guys in.
I hate this. I'm not into this new J thing at all.
Yeet.
It's Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet is terrible. Yeet is the worst.
Yeet.
Lily's that's just gonna be her bit now. just gonna say yeet.
Man.
Yeet.
Somebody should kick those glasses right in his face. Yeet nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm over it already.
Good.
I like
That was all of one episode.
That's what we were
Great.
Well,
hoping
that's
for.
a good documentary.
I mean, honestly, what's the difference between yeet and yeah? 2 letters.
That's fair.
Wrestling fans are not easy to get over, or not easy to not get over on.
It's simple.
Did you? I don't know if you saw one of the videos I was watching on YouTube where they were talking about like, things you didn't know about 2K24. There is a crowd taunt that Roman Reigns does where he raises his hand and the one finger, and like the first 20 rows of the crowd all raise their hand
Oh,
as
nice.
one finger all
That's
together. It's so cool.
Yep.
That's.
I don't want to hear this
That's
about this
sick.
game anymore because I'm jealous. I won't be getting it for like 2 months. It looks good. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm,
does.
Yeah,
I'm bummed I'm not gonna be able to stream it.
I heard there's a locker code for Techno Team 2000. So I'm excited.
Supposedly, you could play it right now if you have it pre-ordered.
In like
Oh,
an
you have
hour.
to, like-
I can download
All,
it in an
all you
hour.
have to do
Everyone-
is change your
You change
location.
you change your system settings to New Zealand.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
tried.
work.
I
It
tried.
doesn't-
He
it
said.
does-
My buddy
I
did it.
I made the
It doesn't work.
attempt.
My buddy did it, and
It
he's
works-
played it all day today.
It works on. Does he have Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works on certain Xbox. It doesn't work anywhere else. That's all right. I'm getting
Unfortunate.
it in an hour.
They said
anyways.
Kai said they're excited that the blood stays on the mat. My question, I said to the person that they was doing it, and they said,
Yeah.
it's noticeable, like patches of blood everywhere.
It
So
is.
you
I've
could-
seen the videos.
my question is, if like say if you do a pay-per-view like in your franchise, and match 1 has blood, will it be there for match 2,
That's a good question.
That would be kind of cool.
or is it a reset ring every time?
Right.
That is a good question.
Is it usually a reset ring? It's not, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not in real life. The
No.
blood would still be there.
Right.
They have a spray they use that can get blood up off the mat, but you still see the stains
Right.
of like
Yeah,
the
that
wet
doesn't-
spot of where the blood is. It almost like mutes the color of the blood because you have like if it's really
So
really
it's-
bad,
So they just peroxide it real quick, and then it turns it brown from red, and that's it.
no, it almost turns it like to a darker blue. So like it depends on the color of the mat. So like in UFC,
Right.
if there was really 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 bad blood, but to say if it was just pulled up in one spot, like if it's all over the cage and it's spread out, they don't care. But like say if a guy was like trapped in a submission and his head was bleeding real bad and there's a big pool of blood,
Mhm.
they will stain that out.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how FTR was yesterday, just pooling out.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he was cut open.
I don't
Did-
know who it
did-
was, but I know that guy
Did you
belongs
ever
to
figure
that
out
one.
where he was
See.
cut open? Was it his forehead? Was it his
I think-
eye?
Forehead or somewhere in his brow.
So, quick question: you guys that are watching Raw, are you seeing a commercial for PPW right now?
No.
I did not.
Oh,
What?
all right.
Did
That must be
That
that
just-
must be a local thing here since they're right down the road from me. But they
nice,
they
Ralph.
they have commercials for their shows during Raw.
I'll be there next
Saturday.
week, Saturday.
Are you doing anything? Or are you just going to hang out?
I'm just going to hang out.
You coming to hang out?
I'm definitely going to record. Like I'm going to get
Mhm.
5 questions done.
Yeah, yeah,
If you want
Um,
to hang out with me and help
you
me
wanna
with
hang out.
camera and
yeah.
or if you pay for a ticket, go watch your show. But if
Yeah.
you want to hang out, you can, and I can introduce you to some people while I'm interviewing them.
Yeah. What
Word.
what time you heading up there?
Probably early,
Early.
like probably
Right,
early. So
Yeah, you'll just have to like message me on Saturday.
yeah,
I
let me know.
don't-
Let me know when you get there, and I can always just come out and grab you.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Or you can send me out, and then we could take a second shot at this.
Oh, we can do that.
No, I'm not taking any more chances. That guy was a dick to me once. He was fucking sitting there picking his teeth, pretending he doesn't.
Oh,
hear
are
me.
they playing it? I love that.
oh, they're actually playing into it with R-Truth now. They're not correcting him. And then they wanted to correct Tommaso. He's like, shh, be quiet.
Oh,
They need to make that a shirt. I need that shirt like tomorrow. If they don't make that a shirt, I'm gonna cry. That needs to be a shirt. Oh,
Crazy. There better be an update. Like, so here's my dream is like I want a sports game to come out and then be like, hey, for 1 calendar year we will make updates to it and add things to it, and when things reflect on TV, they'll reflect in the video game. Like, imagine if they're like new update Regeneration X, and they give you like their entrance where all of them come out together,
right.
outfit.
So here's the thing.
or it stables them in the game, so you don't have to do it.
Yeah, some of the 2K games like they do. If you're playing online, they do like live updates. Like when you first start the game up, there's like a WWE live update that runs, and it will update certain things, but I don't think it goes that far. And what the fuck is this now? Do we really have to sit here and watch this during Raw? I'm
Yes.
so sick of this nonsense.
Dude, honestly, I think Pat McAfee goes too hard too often, and I think people are going to be turned off more than they're turned on to it.
Listen, Pat McAfee is so out of hand, he's out of pocket.
How about the guy behind them acting like he's choking on something and he made the cut?
That guy is probably gonna like screenshot that and like show that to people for the rest of his life. He's gonna be so excited he was on Raw.
Yep. That actually happened to Adam. We were, I think it was at the Extreme Rules review, or one of the ones we were at, and you see him walk past the pre-show booth, and he made it onto one of his favorite YouTube channel bits, and he's so excited about it.
It's cool.
I gotta find it again because I will show it to you off the air.
This is not the main event, is it?
Yeah, no, it is.
I think
It
it
is
is.
'cause they didn't play the one more match to go gimmick.
They did
I
not.
was confused.
They did not do one more match to go gimmick. One more match to go.
I can't wait to play this video game and see all the modes where I can bury main event Jey Uso because I hate him.
Wow, not expect
Yes, yeah, I
that.
don't hate him. I definitely don't hate him.
What happened to speaking from only a place of positivity? What happened to that?
Yeah.
Just
shit.
preached positivity.
Yeet,
Just peace.
yeet,
Deuces.
yeet, yeet.
That was a good one.
No,
good.
that was
good.
that was on my regular content. Live stream chilling with the OC is like,
Oh,
what just happened?
Oh no, taking over.
Wow.
Taking it over.
I went to hit a
Wow.
button and I didn't realize it was going to change everything.
Good
You
job,
just
buddy.
almost took over the entire
I
show.
love that. That's great. Do it again. Do it again.
I was like, oops.
What's he gonna do? Eat you?
Yes,
That's
he would yeet
me.
Well, I can't do it now because I deleted the actual file, so I can't upload it. But I was gonna put myself in Tony Cam.
Oh, nice. Oh wait,
Wrong
Wait.
production.
I could do it, but it's on the but it's,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's on the right. Not
The bit takes too long and it's not that good.
That's maybe Jay's bad behavior. Oh no.
I love that.
We're not sorry for anything. Yeah, I agree with Steven. I think Jimmy's going to come out and cost Jay the match again. Because I think they're going to build
Yeah,
towards
I agree.
Jimmy versus Jay at Mania.
Do you think that's going to be night 1 or night 2? Do you think they're going to make night 2 all about the bloodline?
I feel like Jimmy and Jay would probably be night 1, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did like a whole bloodline night 2 thing.
I think it depends on what's going to happen with the tag match, because I think if they're going to have Rock and Roman win on night 1 so that the match on night 2 is like anything goes, I could see Jay and Jimmy being on night 1 so that whatever happens on night 2 during that main event, like Jimmy comes out to interfere and Jay comes out to get his revenge or whatever it could be.
Mhm.
That is correct.
That is correct, Steven.
Yes. Steven gets a gold star.
Steven gets a gold star.
Correct. You, Jey Uso, get an F.
Get an F.
Specifically for that look on his face while the camera was like dead smack in the middle of it.
Right.
Mark just sent this video in the chat, like put a whole backstory to it. And I clicked on the video, watched it for 3 seconds, and seen a ref in there with a shirt that was 4 times too long for him, not tucked in, baggy blue jeans and a pair of Jordans.
I just
And
saw
literally
that.
commented,
I just
go,
saw that.
Who let the ref in there like that?
Don't do it, Drew. You did it.
Oh, he yeeted him.
Yeah, he eated him.
Yeah, see what he did there? You know what show I have to watch?
What?
Because I feel like I would really like it, because I think the 2 guys that are always talked about the show are good. Scrubs.
Yes.
I can't believe you've not.
Scrubs
I've
is
never
amazing.
watched it. It's a
I've
great
never watched
show.
it.
Thing I was telling you
I
about
love
before.
Scrubs.
Would you eat that?
Yeah.
I feel like that
Oh,
looks
I would-
so good.
I would eat the shit out of that.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It needs
Yeah.
more. I feel like it needs a layer of cheese between the chicken and the breading.
I would knock people over to get one of those.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mhm.
Eee. I don't like that at all. I'd eat the
What?
shit out of that.
I eat the shit out of that.
Taken out of context, Ralph. Someone clip that. That's a Ralph's going, I'd eat the shit out of that.
Well,
Say it one more time.
I'm
You can
not-
clip me. I don't care. I think it's funny you're coming from Ralph.
I'm clipping it
Well,
of everybody
say
saying
it.
it.
all right.
Right.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you. All right. Well, that was fun. How is Raw tonight?
Fantastic.
ABJ's been terrible.
Every-
We'll give him another shot.
Give him a shot.
Well, that's poor choice.
Poor choice.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just hoping Sean says something and he goes back to talking shit about him.
That's every day though.
It's
That's
fair.
that's
It's
fine.
Fair. It's a
I
fair
just-
point.
It's
By
gonna
now,
happen
I'm used
eventually.
to
I just have
the-
wait it out.
By now I'm used to the ribbing.
I didn't have access to a camera, but I still have access to the chat.
You're ridiculous.
Yo, Annie highlights it. Annie highlights it.
I love it.
So
Deleted.
I went to
It was
delete the
deleted, but it was
comment.
already on the
Redacted.
screen.
I went to delete the comment and I saw that there was an option there where it said put user in timeout, and I almost did it, and then I'm like, oh shit, we'd all be in timeout. That would suck.
You would have all been just stream over.
That would have been the end real quick.
That would have been the end of the stream. Done.
This stream has been put on timeout. And the
Just
high
throw the be
music
right back
comes up.
screen.
Yeah.
Right. Oh God.
Maybe I'm just hungry. Every food that's on the screen just looks delicious.
Yo, how about
Yeah.
not wrestling related, but are you guys into sports? Like sports in general?
A little bit.
Ralph's doing
Yeah.
something. What's Ralph doing?
Ralph's doing something.
Ralph popped
just-
himself,
I'm just
and I
waiting
was
for
like, he's
somebody
up
to see it.
something.
Ralph's
It's
doing
right there.
something.
Oh yeah, the shithead.
Oh man, this is degenerated.
Yeah.
Right.
You're nothing but a bunch of degenerates.
So back to sports.
Yeah, sports. Go
Oh,
on.
Did you even see what's going on with the draft, the combines?
No.
You have like
Really?
top players refusing medical. Like the guy
really?
who's like was talked about to be the number 1 draft pick is like he didn't throw the ball in front in the combine. He didn't do the health physical test. He's not doing any of them because he's like, no, I don't want every team to see that. I only want one to see it, and that's the one that drafts me.
That's
and
crazy.
like quarterbacks are not running the 40.
That's insane.
Like there's people like there's these younger gentlemen. They're like, we're just not doing these 10 things. And they're
Right.
like, this is how we scout to find out where you belong in the draft.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice because, like, if they're the one, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, you didn't draft me." It's like you didn't do 90% of the things.
Yeah,
that would
you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
What do they think this is, the WWE draft? When it
Right.
matters?
Right.
And also, did you hear what they're doing with the college players for the new video game?
What are they doing?
You get
think I did hear
$600 and a copy of the game. But
Seriously?
there's college athletes right now who get paid like $1.2 million in revenue deals right now for
Mhm.
being a college athlete.
Yeah.
So a lot of college athletes are now trying to change the rookie contract deal for the
Right.
NFL because it's like we're getting paid more by our revenue, but then the NFL is like, well, I don't know. It's a whole like college football. College football is changing, and
Mhm.
the college to the pro athlete is crazy.
Yeah.
But
Nuts.
yeah, there's some players that they're like, yeah, we'll get most of the roster with that $600 fucking video game deal, but they're gonna have to cut private deals with other players for more
Right.
money to be in the video game. Like
Right.
if you want the cover athlete, I don't think the cover athlete's getting $600 on the copy of the game, while some third string from Bloomsburg is gonna get. I'll
Right.
opt in for that $600 deal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think every athlete's gonna be like $600 at a video game.
Right.
You throw in a system.
Done. Done.
Every college athlete in the country the next year is awful at football because they just stay up all night and play their free video game. Every college athlete streaming on Twitch because they got a free copy of a game.
Yeah, it'll get to a point where instead of having actual games, they'll just stream a game on the video game.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it becomes total esports. Oh, I hate this.
Jeez.
Do we actually think this
Oh,
ends
boy.
in a normal fashion?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Your number one contender gets a win over Drew McIntyre.
Jimmy Uso's gonna come out at some point.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We went over this like a week or two ago, where we watched Raw and SmackDown, and they did the same trope both nights. Remember that?
Yeah, and I literally said both
Yeah.
these nights are going to end in fuckery.
Well, you asked probably.
Well, I was being sarcastic. I said, look
Yeah,
at this
you-
main event. Do you think
really
2
think-
weeks in a row
Yeah.
leading up to a pay-per-view, both main events end in DQ?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
that's why they have dark matches to send the crowd home happy.
Yep.
That probably happened, and then they probably did like a 6-man tag, and then
Yep.
Jimmy got to wrestle his brother versus Cody versus this
Right.
person.
Right.
And they
No,
sent
see-
the crowd home. Actually, let's look that up.
Yeah. Google
CM,
it.
CM
Google it.
Punk's probably not even injured. They're just using him exclusively for dark matches.
Well, I don't think he's definitely not doing dark matches, but I don't think he's as injured as
No.
he's coming out to be. That's just my take, but
Well, no. The way they did that spot makes no sense. If he had that bad of injury, he wouldn't use that arm to punch
Right.
Drew.
Or get stomped on
Indeed.
directly onto it
Yeah.
right after.
Exactly.
I mean, unless Drew really hates him.
Right. You
what
never
Raw
know.
was that?
A few weeks ago.
All right, let's find.
I believe it was
Look at CM
right
Punk's
before.
appearances. That'll
The
be his last.
Hold on,
pay per view.
I can do it this way. 1 second.
I think I was on both your shows, Raw and SmackDown.
It was the go home show to Elimination Chamber, so I just have to
Yeah.
see. I have to find the Elimination Chamber and then work backwards.
Yeah.
But this puts every fucking. All right, Elimination Chamber.
Stupid commercial. I love it.
Then me. Amber D. Wow, they even have Worldwide Dojo on CageMatch.net. That's crazy.
Nice.
It's funny when I look at it and I see like certain people are on Cage Match and then certain people are not. You're like, man, you didn't even put your promotion on Cage Match.
Right.
That's crazy. Oh, they didn't say the dark matches.
Mm.
Hold on. It says the card. That's crazy. So, like, if I click on the SmackDown to see what the dark matches were,
Right.
it won't tell me. But if I go look at like Gunther feeds Jey Uso, so let's click on Jey Uso matches.
Word.
So they're saying that Raw and SmackDown didn't. No, he wasn't on the dark match for Raw, so he didn't do that to send the whole crowd home happy.
Right.
But usually it says like, yeah, even that doesn't say the dark match. I don't know. I give up. I'm over this bit.
Well, here's a question that you would probably know the answer to. So Henry asks, do a lot of independent wrestlers take good care of their ring?
Yes. Oh, 50-50. 50-50. There are some promotions that have really shitty rings, like being held up by wooden stumps. That's a real thing that happened in New Jersey. Just saying. Farm, get
Really?
your shit together. Bro, real
Like
quick.
stumps?
Real quick. I'm gonna click a chat real quick just so it gets rid of our names for a second. Bro, your shirt looks like you're shirtless and you have crazy chest hair. Like it every now and then it
There it is.
Yeah, it just I'm like, what
Yeah,
the
he's
fuck
got
is he?
he's got giant eyeballs for nipples.
Yeah. Well, you don't
Yeah.
even see the eyebrows. All you see is like the hair coming off the eyebrows.
Well, when
it's
he
just
when he
looks
when he
hella
pulls
fuzzy,
the
my
shirt
guy.
up, you see the eyeballs, and it looks like he's flashing everybody his giant eyeball nipples.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like
sorry, I
he's
just
being
distracted
dirty
for a
and gross
second.
on the channel.
Yes, move past the shirt, sir. You can do it. I have faith in you.
That's awful. It's a terrible shirt.
Move past the shirt,
You know,
sir.
you know
said
what
it
I,
was
you know what I
Bad
think of
fashion
that.
choice. Bad
Or
fashion.
You know what I
yeah,
think of
bad
that
fashion
shirt?
choice in the night.
I think of that.
This
shirt.
wasn't planned. I didn't plan
what I
this.
think
I
of
literally
that
just decided to hop in. I
You
felt
know
bad.
who wears those shirts?
Me. I do.
Don't.
People at the hometown auction that walk around
Yes.
and buy.
No, people at the hometown auction that are selling tube socks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, it's the Crocs and the cell phone cases in the same stand.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, I love
You're
it.
the only person
I
here
love
who
you.
doesn't know what the hometown auction is, and that's on you.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah,
That's a
agreed.
joke that you have to research to find if it's funny or not. What was it? Fuck, what was I saying? Yeah, so most people take care of the rings. A lot of times in wrestling too, the ring is owned by a guy, and then the company hires someone to bring a ring in, so they don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Because a lot of wrestling promoters are like, all right, I'll buy a ring and then I'll run the show, but then I have to fucking pay people to take down my ring and put it somewhere when I'm done with it and then drive it to a storage thing. So they just think it's easier just to hire somebody to bring the ring in, and then they're in charge for setup and tear down. But
Right.
most of them, they'll be like, hey, anybody want to help that is working the show today? And that usually is a thing.
Right.
They always say too. Here's a wrestling trope that's funny that I'll say right now, and maybe Ralph can laugh at this because he's been at part of shows. I love when they say, "Bro, if you want to get booked here, you better be here to start the start of the show and the end of the show and help set up and tear down. I don't care where on the card you are." And it's always the students who are fucking setting the tearing the ring up, and the rest of the veterans are in the back. And that rule is only applied to be like, well, they don't have to, kid. I know I said that, but you're paying your dues.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I love
Jesus.
that. Russ. Like,
I-
everyone
I-
helps with ring setup, and then you have a whole bunch of people that are like, "Oh, we're talking now. We can't set rings up. We have, we have
Right,
to have this
right.
We're having
conversation."
a conversation.
Yeah, this conversation is
We're
really
talking.
important.
really important. I know we can be talking while we
Right.
work, but
Yeah.
it's so important that it's more important to hear
So
what I'm really
important.
saying.
I was working with an organization one time where the room where they were having all their events, when the show was over, they had to take apart their ring, take it out a side door, walk down a street, and then in another door and down a flight of stairs into their training room. Like every time they had to move the entire
Yep.
ring. It was,
You know what I heard? You know what
a
show is the
disaster.
worst to set up for? The
What?
Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is the worst.
You got to go up all those stairs with every board and every post and
Oh
every.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
you've-
no like
you've heard
the elevator that they would normally
Oh,
take up like speakers and stuff with. It doesn't
Yeah.
fit the boards and stuff for wrestling rings.
Oh, here we go. Well, may not
Oh,
be
now
Jimmy,
comes
but
now comes the shenanigans.
Yes, I have helped set up rings. I set them up to a certain point. I'll set them up to the point where like they have to start doing the ropes and stuff. Then I'm out. I'll carry boards in. I'll carry posts
Mhm.
in with people.
yeah, I've done that before.
I have helped set up chairs and tear down chairs as well. As a commentator guy.
Right.
I think chairs is something that everybody's done at one point or another.
Yeah.
Help set up.
I've been on a
chairs.
show where
Someone else.
the main
yeah.
event of cards or higher up on the cards didn't help set up rings or chairs, but Jimmy Hart did. And that's
Oh
not a
yeah.
lie. Yes.
Right.
That
I
doesn't
watched
surprise
Jimmy
me.
Hart walk out and help set up and tear down chairs at a show, and people were in the locker room talking while that guy's out there still doing it at his age.
No shit.
Oh, there's Jimmy. Where's Seth?
There's Jimmy. Where's Seth?
Honestly,
That's it.
it's the only one we're missing.
Yep.
Like I said, Jimmy's gonna come out and cost Jay the match
Mm-hmm.
to further that.
Because they can't have clean wins when people are at the top.
Nope. That's a good little ditty. That's a good little tune.
Like that.
That's good. There he is.
For what? For what?
Right? Eric,
There it goes.
I called it.
What?
What if Drew tripped
Yo, I
him?
love how he just went right past Drew.
What if Drew,
Deadpan.
what if Drew
Yeah.
tripped him? Just
Can you imagine? Just
stuck his foot out.
No,
That's how I would have booked it.
if Drew would have tripped him, he'd have slid all the way across the ground to the ring.
Right.
He'd
All
gone
the-
under the ring like Titus O'Neil.
all the way down. All the way down.
When did Drew get back in the ring?
When he,
That was quick.
yeah,
When
said
he
So
ran
you
back in the
let
ring.
Seth, you let Seth run past you. No sold it and then somehow just vanished.
He
or,
really
appeared.
does look like a highlighter.
He does. I
Just
said
a-
I think my exact words were
like the
puffy
fella-
paint
Yep,
mixes
yep.
highlighter.
Yep.
He looks like he fell off the shelf of an office supply store.
CM Punk chance to end the show,
Yeah, yeah.
and he wasn't
Roll
even
the
there. And he wasn't
Roll-
even there.
I
Roll the
don't
credit.
I don't think Drew's gonna win because he keeps forgetting to point to the Mania sign.
didn't
Right,
point-
right.
Not one time did he
That's
point.
the point. One time
Wow,
the main
they just-
sign.
They just killed it.
All right, so time to get the Deal or No Deal Island stream going. You guys ready? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No Deal Island.
Cowballs.
Yeah. All right, so this was a lot of fun. This was a happy accident that just kind of happened.
Just stumbled.
And
Yeah, I
it's
don't
been-
have live TV anymore, so unless these guys take over that bid, this is your new home for watch-alongs. Unless
Yeah,
the only 3 years we're here, so the rest of our Discord went and found other content creators, I guess. But
Yeah. They just
well,
our said
Deuce.
fuck it.
I appreciate all the support
appreciate anything.
from the people who did show up. So
Yep.
thanks for showing up. This has been fun. Anthony, is there anything you would like to plug before we get out of here?
There you go.
No,
Look at that.
good.
Kindness
I
on
gotta
Discord.
drive. I got to two and a half hour drive
Got
to
you.
drive this jabroni home.
2.5
2.5
hours. It's funny.
hours.
Wow.
Uphill
Jeez.
in the
There and
snow.
back equals to an hour and a half. Calm down.
Are you driving her to like the Congo? What's going on?
Yeah.
The Congo Wilkes-Barre.
All
Watch
right.
out.
Well, yeah. So we have a brand new episode that just came out with Pete Corvus, and it is ridiculous fun.
So
You
good.
will-
So much fun.
You will enjoy it in ways you've never enjoyed any of our content before. So please go check it out. It is, as Sean said, it's probably one of the best interviews we did.
It's so much fun.
You know,
Just so good.
we
a
it
mark.
was a lot of fun. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our very first Chilling with the OC. Thanks to ABJ and Lily for hopping in and hanging out for a while. It was a lot of fun to chill with you guys and watch some
Always.
Raw again for another week. So
Thanks for
uh,
having us.
yeah,
apart
so
from
we
Time Out.
may be around for another stream this week. We may not. We may be back next Monday. We may not. But just keep an eye out on the channel because I'm sure we'll figure this out eventually.
Yeah.
I'll be live
you know.
tomorrow night at 9:00 doing my review of Blink-182 one more time.
There you
That's
go.
awesome. Please
There you
go go over to the ABJ
Check that
podcast
out.
and tune into that, please, because that's going to be awesome. All
And
right,
then Thursday is my first live interview.
Yeah.
All
See,
right.
there you go.
So,
Get
you want
out
to tell
there.
us who it's with?
Tim Mingle.
All right.
I have
Very
I have literally the entire month booked now with
Sweet.
all my episodes. I still have TBA when it comes to the Ninja Turtle episode. I might be doing that one by myself too. But
Yeah.
I made some fun stuff for that today, so I'm pretty
Nice.
excited about it. I did.
Awesome.
Cool.
So one of the things I'm going to do for that one, I'll kind of give it a little teaser here. But
Oh, yeah, go
I
ahead.
went and got every poster of every character for the movie,
Mhm.
and then I
Nice.
found the actor who plays them, and then I took it to Canva and I put the actor on the poster with the character they play.
Nice.
So when we talk about the
Nice.
movie, you actually get a visual of, because I think that's important for visual.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know that movie and you just went like, oh, it's Ninja Turtles, I'm not going to do any research, find out who's who, and just go watch it,
Right.
and then you're
Yeah.
like, yo, those voices sound familiar. Like, oh, that was Paul Rudd. Like,
yeah.
Right.
you know what I mean? Like Paul
Yeah.
Rudd's a voice. Like this girl's a voice. This guy's a voice. Like
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool
That's
to hear the
cool.
review and be like, oh, I didn't realize these actors were the voice people of those characters. Or you
Very
might
cool.
say that's a really good voice acting cast, and I like the Turtles. I'm gonna go check the movie.
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks
Very
a lot,
cool.
guys, for joining in with us. It's been a lot of fun for this very first Chilling with the OC, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, thanks for watching this presentation. Like, share, and subscribe for more.